What's up, guys? Welcome to Hive Mind number 13. We are recording these on Sunday. I had a bunch of people ask me, like, where's the podcast? Where's the podcast? In the past, we recorded them on Friday. They can't come out on Saturday. Now we're going to be recording them on Sunday, and they'll probably come out on Monday morning. I'm going to try to get them out early for the work week, so hopefully that is preferable for people. Who knows? I don't really give a shit if it's not, so you'll get over it. Anyway, we are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube now. So quit your bitching. If there is somewhere that we're not on, please let me know because I'm trying to get us up everywhere. So check us out on iTunes. Leave us a review. If it's funny, we'll read it. SoundCloud, Stitcher. Is there anything else you use other than those things for podcasts?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Getting up on Stitcher wasn't too painful, was it?
No.
No,
No,
see?
Yeah, pretty much everything runs through the SoundCloud RSS feed. So let's hope they don't go out of business because I heard there was a little bit of a rumor. But who knows? Somebody will buy them out if that does happen. I don't think they will. We're also going to be coming out on Google Podcasts when that launches. I already got approved for that. So it'll be on the Google Play Store when that comes out. And Spotify, put in an application for Spotify as well. So I've been busy.
It's like what was that company that Will Ferrell had? Was it like Prestige Worldwide? That's what we're gonna have for the podcast. You know what I'm
You're talking about Step Brothers or whatever? Yeah, it took me a second to. I actually watched some of Talladega Nights. It's on Netflix. I watched some of that last night.
Nice.
I forgot how I never realized how bad the acting was in that movie until I watched it later. Like, it's the last time, it came out when I was a kid. But it's still funny, though. It's still pretty funny in a lot of ways.
I'm pretty sure that was the last time Will Ferrell was funny. Was Talladega Nights.
See, no, I think Step Brothers came out after Talladega Nights.
Oh, I did? Okay, maybe that was the last time he was funny then. He's definitely not funny now. He was funny then.
I haven't seen any of his stuff, but Talladega Nights, that movie's fucking hilarious. Anyway, a little statistic here. Did you so our podcast, I just assumed that our podcast was really, really small in the grand scheme of things, but apparently not. There are a lot of podcasts that for example, if you get over 3,000 views an episode, you're in the top 10% of all podcasts ever. Did you know that?
No.
So our little rinky-dink podcast is in the top 10%.
How many do we get? How many? I
mean, on average, I calculated it. It's 4,000 or something because some of them have way more. The older episodes have more. But
that's crazy.
We're definitely over 3,000 an episode. So I just saw that as a statistic when I was applying for the Spotify podcast application. They're like, yeah, if you're over 3,000, there's a really good chance you'll get in because that means you're in the top 10%. I was like, really?
People must be fucking bored.
Yeah.
So I'm just kidding.
So anyway, that's all the boring shit out of the way. So go check us out on all that shit we listed. If there's anything that you would like us to be on that we're not, let us know. For the most part, everything runs through the iTunes API. So if we're on iTunes, we're on a lot of these podcasting apps that you might like. So just let us know. But yeah, that's it for all the boring shit. In Zybak news, I hit 100K subscribers on YouTube this week. It's pretty fucking dank.
I saw the comment spam about that. That's
pretty cool. Yeah, I'll do something to piss a bunch of people off and drop back down to 99K. Or nice. YouTube will delete a bunch of inactive subscribers. I'm down to 50K again.
Nice. No. Speaking of subscribers, I gained 7 followers as a result of last week, and I broke 600 for the first time ever on Twitter.
You really only got 7?
Yeah, well, more or less. I think 4 of them were bots and unfollowed. My background. So
I got 7 followers and 4 of them were bots.
Probably. Wait, hang on. Now let's confirm. 601. Fucking.
You gotta tweet out some shit random shit about SoundCloud, and you'll end up getting followed by a bunch of SoundCloud bots. When I put up hey guys, we're on SoundCloud, I got followed by get more views on SoundCloud, and all these SoundCloud bots.
Wait a minute. Wait, what is this? Dopameaner is late for recording the podcast bullshit. I just saw this.
Oh yeah, I just tweeted that out 3 minutes before you called.
Okay, yeah, I was late. Never mind. Disregard. Valid tweet.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were coming because I sent you a thing on Twitter 30 minutes ago, hey, you gonna be able to make it? Because I haven't heard anything from you, and then you were late. And I was like, fuck, I hope I didn't forget.
I'm always here, man. Unlike the pull-out method, I'm always on time.
Anyway, you do anything fun in real life this week?
Oh my God. Do you really want? I can tell you a story. Do you want to tell a story? I'm gonna
Dude,
give
that's
you
what
this
that's
my
what we do
weekend.
this for.
Worst weekend of all time, and
Okay,
not,
this
not
is
not
good.
even close. So so the baby is kind of sick, right? Like a little bit, and on Thursday she was a little pukey, which I mean, like babies normally like spit up a little bit, like they're like, "Bleh," and then there's like a little bit of like, but like this one was more like projectile, where it's like, "Bleh," and then it's like a lot. That's not normal. So that happened on Thursday, and we're like, oh, she might be kind of sick because we're all getting kind of a little funky in the house. So on Friday morning, she did that kind of again, and my wife leaves like a little bit before I do, and I take the baby to daycare. So so I'm like feeding her because I gotta feed her and then take her to daycare or whatever. And she had on like her little pajama thing, which is like a little like it's basically like a pajama sleeping bag. Like it doesn't have feet; it's just like a little beanie thing that you put them in. But anyway, so I'm like, I can't take the baby to daycare like that because then they'll know I'm a bad parent and I'm lazy as shit. So I have to like put clothes on her. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna put clothes on the baby. So I take her over to the little area, which is basically on the ottoman of our couch, and I'm like, oh, she's got a poopy diaper, not a big deal. So I take off her diaper, right, and there's a little bit of poop, and I'm like, this isn't so bad, right? And all of a sudden, she gets this like crazy little look in her eye. And have you seen the movie Saw?
No, I can only imagine where this is
Really?
going.
So in the movie Saw, right, there's this like crazy looking
Oh, I'm
like
familiar with the character, like the
Stephen
white
Hawking
guy, the pale like
jigsaw.
white puppet guy. Yeah, yeah.
Right. And he's like, I want to play a game. And that's what my baby did to me. And it was like, I want to play a game. And then went and ripped a cord of liquid shit all over my arm and like all over the fucking couch, all over the floor. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? Because that has not happened to me ever. Like normally, like baby poop is like peanut butter. This was like a rope of water from like a super soaker, and I'm like, and I'm like, I'm just standing there like in shock because it's like on my work pants, right? And like my arm, I'm serious, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because like the baby's covered in shit, so I can't pick her up because then she'll drip shit everywhere. I can't like move because I'm covered in shit, and there's no towel or like fucking
Was this at your house?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that would have been really funny if it was at like some
No, no.
public like place.
So I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And so I'm like, please don't roll off the ottoman. And I like, because you know what I mean? You can't really like leave them like that. So I like dart over to like the washing machine and like sacrificed my work shirt, I think, to clean up my arm. And then when I come back, she rips another one and it's like not stopping. And I'm like, shit, I don't know what to do. Right. Because I've never been in this position before. So in like the Boston Marathon bombing and like tragedies where you'll see like the one heroic person who like reaches into somebody's
Runs
leg.
into the explosion rather than running away from it.
Right, right, but then like sees the guy like bleeding out and like reaches into his leg and like grabs an artery and
Yeah.
closes saves somebody's leg. So I had to do that with my hand. So I was like, fuck it, I don't know what to do. Flight or flight response. I put my hand over her little gushing asshole and just slid her shit into my hand, and it was really, really
Oh.
disgusting. And I
You
was
couldn't
like,
just
oh,
like pull the diaper up for a second or anything? Like,
it was coated. Like I listen. When you're in the moment, you don't really know what to do. That was my save this guy's leg moment. And
dude, I just get the mental image of like, you know how like you have like a water hose with like the hole and you put your thumb over it and like you can make it shoot further.
it was like that. Just like that. So I'm like, oh fuck. So like, anyway, like she got cleaned up, whatever. Took her to daycare. I guess she had like a blowout like 10 minutes after she got. It's fine.
I love the terminology. A fucking blowout.
So yeah, whatever. That's what I pay them for is to deal with that bullshit. So anyway, she's sick, right? So and then so that happened on Friday. So Saturday, yesterday we were going out. First time we've been out in 3.5 months. We're going out for Valentine's Day weekend, and one of my coworkers is like, "We'll watch the baby." So I'm like, okay. So in concert with that, Friday night, we fell asleep really early because I had a rough day, right? It was just a fucking bad day. I had to deal with that shit. And so I thawed some hamburger. And have you ever thawed like hamburger like with your sink? Like you put it in
Yeah,
water.
you put it in water and like, yeah, just let it soak.
So I did that, and I fell asleep. We both fell asleep, and we woke up. We put it in at like 6, and we woke up at like I don't know, like 11 or 10, somewhere around there. And she put it in the refrigerator, right? She's like, "Oh, you left a hamburger out," and I'm like, "Yeah, I was in cold water. It should be fine." So I made some tacos with that, and
I can see where this is going.
yeah. So anyway, Saturday comes. We take her over to my coworker's house, and I'm like, please God, do not blow out your fucking diaper at my coworker's house. This nice lady's watching you for like 3 hours. Please just sleep and be good. So I'm sitting in Deadpool, and I watched Deadpool last night.
Is it as good as everyone says it is?
We'll get to that. But
Okay.
halfway through it, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, am I gonna? I never get sick. I have like the immune system. I must have had like Ebola as a baby because
Yeah,
I
I'm
never.
the same way.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in Deadpool and I'm like, oh, my stomach feels kind of weird. Like, what the? I'm like, oh my God, give me my little ticket thing so I can get back in. Run in and just like projectile vomit in the bathroom during Deadpool. It was just bad, dude. And then oh man, it's been a weekend. And
And
so
after
don't.
that, did you feel like better? Was it like one of those things where it was like instant
No,
relief?
no,
Oh,
it
that's awful.
was. And finished Deadpool, came home, and then I woke up like hot, cold, puked, and I puked in the baby diaper trash can, and then I had to wake up to that. It was bad, dude. It was just a bad time. But speaking of getting on something better, Deadpool. Did you go see it?
No, not yet. I'm thinking about it.
So I want to read some stats. Number 7 comic book opening of all time, behind the Avengers movies, the Dark Knight movies, and I think Spider-Man 3.
Fucking Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Biggest R-rated movie of all time.
That's good.
Opening. Positive user reviews equals to The Force Awakens. So
I was not expecting that.
yeah, dude, like it is probably like movie of the decade for me. Like one of them, no spoilers at all, but are you a fan of when like movies and like actors and things like address the audience and the
Yeah,
camera?
breaking the fourth wall is what they call it.
Are you a fan of that, or do you think it's kind of
Well, I mean, in the case of Deadpool, that's kind of like his thing. Like that's what he does in the comics and in the movie. And
I
it's
read
like,
him when I was a kid. So he does it. Some of the negative reviews I saw were from like I guess critics that said the movie was a little
Sorry.
self-congratulatory. But no, it was good, dude. It was really really good. Like when we left it, I was trying to think like is it as like shocking as people thought? And not really for an R-rated movie, but for a Marvel movie, yeah, it is. Like Stan Lee makes a cameo in it, and as he does in all Marvel movies, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's good, dude. It's good.
Yeah, I probably will go see it in theaters. I just hate forever aloning, like going to the movies alone. You just feel like such a fucking loser.
Tender, man, just tender. Be like, hey, I have 100,000 YouTube subscribers. I'm internet famous. Somebody go to see Deadpool with me. I promise you'll get a date.
No, I don't want to spend money on some bitch though. I'm not that fucking.
No, just put that out, dude. Be like, well, listen, whatever, you're paying. And you'll
Dude, I don't think having 100K subscribers on YouTube gets you that fucking. Gets you that
No?
shit. But
No?
I don't think women are just gonna flock to me and pay for all my shit because I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I think you're wrong, dude. Put it in the comments.
Did you see this dank ass fucking meme I made when I hit 100K subscribers?
No, I
That
did
meme
not.
is straight fire.
Let me see what we got
Look
here.
at that meme. That's like 10 out of
Nice.
10 meme right there. You gotta admit.
This is really who is that guy?
That's Drake as a kid.
Oh right. Oh right.
That's why it's so sick.
Right.
Dude, look at the likes on that. 59 likes. Actually, more than that, isn't it?
62.
62. Yeah. Dude, that's a
Man.
fire meme right there.
See,
If you haven't seen that meme, you got to go to my Twitter or Facebook and check out the Drake meme I made. I'm very proud of it.
well, you just linked it, so I know that was a secret, fucking underhanded attempt at me liking your Facebook page, which I just did, by the way.
No, it actually wasn't. I'm really just that proud of that meme.
Okay.
Dude, I'm so proud of that. As dumb as it sounds, like as soon as I made that, I was like, I know this is gonna get a lot of likes on Facebook, and it did. Feels good, man.
No, it's good. I'm a big meme fan. What did we do before memes?
I don't know.
Like half my communication on internet forums, if they have the ability to, is through posting memes. Like
That's
you
why
can answer
my
for the game.
Crowfall my Crowfall reputation is really high because I just come in strong with the memes. I don't have
Right.
any competition either. Like other people just I don't know for whatever reason that the Crowfall community is not very good at memes. So I just like rake it all in.
Well, it's because the Crowfall community is full of people like Elvon, WoW, and fucking who's that guy, Mike Joseph
There's a lot of
from.
people that take this shit so seriously right now. Like on the forums, it's crazy. It's like
Yeah. Oh yeah,
wow,
dude.
you guys in your guild, you guys are like there's these guilds that have these entire like socio-economic structures. It's just like what the fuck. I'm just looking for
Actually,
people to talk shit with.
when I was in Wildstar beta, right, there was a guild. I think it was Blank Space's guild. They were called.
Subterfuge.
Yeah, were you in Subterfuge?
Yeah.
So I was in Subterfuge in beta, and I remember going into that game, and I was like, I kind of think I want to raid in this game. So I applied, and because I wanted to be in a pretty decent guild, and I remember them going like, you need to show up 4 days a week at raid time and like hang out and quest, just to show that you'll be like committed when the game launches. And I
Yeah.
remember going, that's fucking stupid. Like
I
I'm not doing
actually
it.
agree with that though.
Do
So the thing with Crowfall, why I think it's ridiculous, is because the testing is at such an early state that it doesn't make sense for people to have these like giant guild structures. Like people are just really taking this shit seriously, and it's like too much. It's like wow, you guys have this whole system for your guild. It just seems like why can't you just be like a group of people? It seems like that'd be way more efficient just to be like hey, let's go and do this shit rather than having like all these different ranks and all that shit. But I will defend Subterfuge and really a lot of raiding guilds were doing that. Was they want to get their raiding team used to playing with each other, used to working together, and knowing what the raid comp is going to be, so people can play the right classes, so you can have the right class balance for the raid. So that's why that happened.
Yeah, but at launch of a brand new game, like the fucking when WildStar launched, like I mean, like the shit was buggy as fuck anyway. Like you couldn't even, you know what I mean? And like if you're comprising your guild of people that like used to actually raid and WoW, like legit raiders, you know what I mean? Like you just either I don't know. I don't think that like
Well, I mean,
guild
if it's a
cohesion
hardcore,
thing.
I mean, there's different guilds. You know, not every guild was
Yeah.
doing that. It was only the hardcore guilds that were doing that.
I mean, do you buy into like raid synergy? Like, I think the only thing that's important really is, I mean, I raided in a lot of like guilds in WoW, and like mostly static was what were we? I think at our best we were like 20 something or 30 something, 25 heroic. So we weren't like ridiculous, but we were only 3 nights a week. I would say like the raid leader and like your raid like officers are like crucial that they work together well for like raid strategy, but like as an individual like DPSer or whatever, like I think your only job is just to not suck and not die. Like that's pretty much. I don't think like raid cohesion is that critical. Like if your leadership team is
Well, I mean, if you're trying to be, you know, a hardcore guild and one of the first people to do something, everything matters.
maybe
Which is what they were trying to do. They didn't
Right.
really do it. I mean, we weren't.
They were never.
Like,
They were
I
never.
was in Subterfuge for a short period of time when the game actually came out, and then I went to Enigma, which was the #1 guild in the world and still is. So I will defend them because it makes sense for what they were
Who
trying
was-
to do.
I think my issue was subterfuge. Who is the raid leader? It was like some shaman.
Tainted.
From what him. I thought he was the biggest joke. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't. Again, I was only in it for a very little bit, but I was like, this guy is not like he was not like that big a deal in WoW, and like as big a deal as he tried to make himself. When I was talking to him, again, I didn't know him. You probably had a different relationship with him, but I just looked at I looked at that guild as like people that weren't like that special, trying to make like they were like fucking amazing, and maybe that wasn't the case.
I mean, I think
But-
there was a little bit of that because, well, I think there's always that when a new game comes out because there's people that want to like stake their claim on this game, and the same thing's going to happen with Crowfall and Blade and Soul and every new MMO that comes out. There's people that sit down and say, "Hey, I'm going to be the best at this one. This is the fresh start. I'm starting over. Everyone's at ground zero, and I'm going to make my moves early to get to the top."
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Death
And
and
I
Taxes
did
made a
that.
play in-
I mean,
in
I pretty
Wildstar.
much did that. Like, yeah, I was well known in WoW, but I never was a very prestigious PvEer in WoW. Wildstar was my first real adventure into hardcore competitive PvE, and what a fucking experience that was playing with I definitely don't regret playing Wildstar just to get the world first like experience, and it's crazy to be able to say that I played in a guild, in a 40-man raiding guild, where every single person was good. There was not one bad person in that fucking guild.
Well, I remember
that's crazy to be able to say that.
It's cool to be in. Yeah, I mean, to be in like somebody like Enigma. I think that because they're still, aren't they still like in Wildstar?
The game, like, so the problem with Wildstar is they made the game for hardcore people at launch, but they just never added any more hardcore content because the game took a serious design shift once they realized, like, oh crap, people lied. They don't actually want hard raids and hard dungeons.
Well, they got the new Red Moon, what is it, Red Moon Terror or Red Moon?
Yeah, but that's not coming out for a really long time.
But it's going to be on. Actually, it's going to be in PTR like the next launch or the next build is going to be on PTR. It's not going to be out for a while, but
yeah, but Enigma's going to chew that up and spit it out. Like they'll be done with that so quick. I have a feeling anyway.
Of course, yeah. But I mean, yeah. What was I going to say? Shit, I forgot. It was a change for me. Like, so I was like in WoW. I was started out in guilds that sucked, right? And I quickly became like one of the best players in a shitty guild. Like I'm talking about like a can't clear normal mode guild. I think
yes.
I was like couldn't kill Nefarian on 25 normal kind of guild, and not like the original
Cataclysm.
One. Yeah. And then I remember I went into another guild that was like clearing a few heroics. You know what I mean? So you go from like normal mode guild to like half the tier in heroics guild, and I remember making the jump to a guild that cleared the content in heroic before the new content came out. And I remember my first raid in that guild, and I was a DPS DK, and it was in static, and we were fighting I think it was Shinox in Firelands.
Yep.
And I remember because they had, obviously they were on rag when I joined. And I remember in that guild going, oh my god, like the positioning of the boss and like the movement and everything is just so much better. My DPS like skyrocketed. And I remember like my satisfaction was just through the roof because I was like, oh my god, finally, like the boss fight just doesn't go to shit and we just hack it over. You know what I mean? Like there's actually some coordination. And I remember my enjoyment of the game shot up a lot when I went to a competent raid team.
No, that was the thing in Wildstar too. A lot of Wildstar was about keeping debuffs up, having good class debuffs. Again, which is why the raid composition mattered so much because you needed to have a warrior for SmackDown and a this for that and a stalker tank for the physical damage and just a whole bunch of shit. I can't remember it all. So we would poach these like good players that were in shitty guilds and their DPS would just skyrocket because they had a shitty warrior not keeping SmackDown up. And all that shit really mattered a lot in that game.
Yeah, I remember you had your like claim to fame PR moment, didn't you, with your fucking Experiment X89?
Yeah. They put me up on the main stage at Gamescom, I think, whatever it was. Yeah, you can YouTube search it like Zybak X89. Let's Zybak X89 stage.
How'd that feel?
That was cool as fuck when it happened. Yeah, PAX East 2014. Yeah,
Did you get to meet the dev team of Carbine at any point?
Not personally, but I talked to them like on Skype and Mumble and all that shit all the time.
Oh, right.
We talked to Time Travel and Tyrius and a lot of the devs, like a lot. Even when I was in Subterfuge, we talked to them a lot. But when I was in Enigma, we talked to Time Travel like goddamn like every night. It seemed like Time Travel and Tyrius.
Yeah. I mean, what were some of the stuff you guys communicated like?
Like this is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. And they're like, yeah, we realize that's dumb now. Is there a fix for this? When is that fix for this coming out? Hey, is this intended? A lot of hey, is this intended? Because there were Enigma very, very what's the word? Honorable when it comes to killing bosses. We could have killed so many of those bosses way before we did if we just would have like done an unintended mechanic.
Yeah, but you had no competition, so there was really no point in, you know what I mean? And
we did have competition. We were just really ahead of them, and a lot of them
Well, right. That's
Well, we
usually
did have competition. We had eugenic. It just wasn't competition in the U.S.
Oh, we'll
Um,
never.
they actually did get one world first on us because they fucking cheesed a boss. They used a healing reduction mechanic, like they used like essentially a mortal strike mechanic on a boss that healed itself.
Right.
I think it healed itself. It did something. It had something to do. I can't remember exactly. It was the one with the platforms where you Spider-Man across the platforms. But essentially, you could use a healing reduction to really cheese the fight, and they did that. And then we killed it immediately after they did, but we didn't do it because we asked if it was intended, and they said no.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I know.
go ahead.
And that's different from like WoW when you have like Method and fucking Midwinter, or I guess back in the day anyway. With them, like they would cheese anything to get ahead. Like those.
So there's
guilds,
one guild that was really bad about it. I can't remember their name though. Say again?
Blood Legion. Like they.
No, there was one that was like really bad about it. They did it like every time. I don't think it's either of the ones that we missed. Wow, exploit.
Did you hear about So we talked to and back in the day I did this Run Back Rating WoW podcast, and we talked to Trekkie a little bit, and Trekkie was the main tank in Method, and he would tell us like a lot about how like the devs in WoW would like kind of like ghost fly behind them and watch them raid and stuff like that in their raids, and I guess there was a fight, Thok, which is like a dinosaur in Throne of Thunder tier 15.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, like, there was a fight where you had to, like, it was a two-phase fight, and you had to transition him, or he would slowly, like, wipe your raid, or whatever. And I guess what they decided to do was just bring a metric fuck ton of healers, and just heal through it and burn them. And that's not intended at all. So, I guess the devs were like, because the devs will watch all those, like, World First Guilds raid, just to make sure, like, shit like that doesn't happen. And they watch them doing this, and they're just burning this boss down. And it's not transitioning, and they're still burning it. And like those kind of things, when you get world first, like it's very, very. I don't know, but I don't think they've ever taken away like a world first kill from a guild for cheesing something. So
I
it's
think
like,
they have Blizzard.
have they?
I'm pretty sure they have a lot.
Have they really?
So the guild I was thinking of that was notorious for exploiting is Exodus.
Oh,
Exodus. Maybe. Those are the motherfuckers that did it like every time. Yeah, I had to Google it. I couldn't remember who it was.
Okay.
But,
well, now that I can remember, maybe they have, but so they're starting to burn this boss down or whatever, and the Blizzard's there, and they're like, fuck, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? They just hit the wipe them button. So all of a sudden, like, their raid out of nowhere, everyone just dies. And then they hot fixed it in, and, like, the raid kind of, like, reset on them, sort of, and they went back in, and they couldn't do that anymore. So, yeah. I mean, maybe they have. I don't remember it in recent memory, like, of them, like, stripping a guild of a kill.
Are you familiar with what happened in Arcage, like, literally yesterday?
No.
Arcage banned a guild called Rage Quit for exploiting a boss. They perma-banned the entire guild. They killed some sort of, like, boss on a ship. I don't know anything about that fucking game, but essentially the boss bugged out, and they killed it. And they perma-banned everyone. I think that's a little overkill because look, the boss bugged out. Like, sure, they might have done something to bug it out. Maybe that's kind of up in the air right now if they did it on purpose or not. But to perma-ban an entire guild because they may or may not have abused a bug, like that was, I don't know. I just don't really agree with the perma-ban. Maybe a 24-hour, like, take the loot away. Like,
the only reason to permaban somebody is if in PvP they're using some, like, spam mechanic.
Mechanic?
In Wildstar, you know, like some automatic key pusher thing.
Are you talking about the medic thing?
No, I'm talking about you getting banned in Wildstar.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I got unbanned, right?
Oh, you did? Really? Finally?
Yeah, I got unbanned a long time ago, dude.
Oh, I thought you got banned once and then you got permabanned, and then you
I got unbanned a long time ago, man.
Oh, okay.
I did get permabanned for about a week or 2 weeks. I don't know how long it lasted because they didn't tell me that I got unbanned. I logged into my NCSoft account because I think I was applying for like some beta for I think Blade and Soul, I think it was. and I noticed that it said my Wildstar account was unsubscribed, and I was like, what? So I fucking logged into that shit. And I was like, this is new. So I got unbanned at some point.
It was probably the free to play transition. They just like it was some shit where they just
I don't know.
Made
that whole thing
unbanned.
was no, it was before free to play because I paid money to I paid the $15 to play it again. I didn't do anything though. I guess it was a waste of money. I couldn't believe I was fucking unbanned.
Well, that somebody at Carbine was probably like, "Oh fuck, why are we really gonna ban somebody who actually likes our game? That's like a non-zero percentage of people that like our game. Just like Archage. Like, what are you gonna do? That's probably like half your rating population that you just banned."
Yeah,
Archage was like the biggest failure, dude. Like that game launched to like pretty decent fanfare, like pretty decent hype, and then just fucking dropped off.
I never got into it. I guess I just saw through it. I don't know.
I played for a half hour the first day, and I got like this little pet thing that you had to like feed and like make it grow up and like tame it or something. It looked like something out of like fucking Studio Ghibli, fucking Hayao Miyazaki land. But yeah, that game just. Do people still play that? Is there an expansion for that game? Like I don't. How do you find out about that? How do you learn about a guild getting permabanned in Archage?
Actually, somebody sent me a thing on the Crowfall forum saying, "Look at this shit." Like I'm in a giant group conversation on the Crowfall forums with like 30 other people or some shit, and somebody just linked it in there, and I clicked on it. I was like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." But yeah, they banned like 50 some people permanently for a boss that bugged out, and they just decided to kill it. You know, I don't know. See, they got the world first kill of it. But what's fucked up is if that same guild would have killed that same boss in the same way, they were like 35th in the world to do it. Like no one would give a shit. So right. That's why like I agree that if the boss was bugged out, then it shouldn't count and maybe take the loot away. But I don't know about banning them like permanently. I mean, like
in Wildstar, dude, like the only way you could fucking clear. Or the guild I was in anyway could clear.
That might be a good little preface there.
What was that boss in the fucking 5-man? God, there's 4 5-mans.
Oh, did you fucking Skullcano cheese?
That's it.
Oh my god, no!
Skullcano. That you stand up on the little thing.
Legit. We did it fucking legit.
Oh, well, I mean, dude, eventually
all
did
the,
it
all the fucking pugs are like. We always used to make a joke about that in Enigma. Like, all the pugs are like the king of exploits. Like, if you want to learn about some fucking dungeon exploits, go into a pug. They'll know shit that is, like, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Of course. Like, how to skip all the thing. And
Zealot was telling us. Zealot, one of our healers, he's like some sort of masochist. He would go into these pugs late at night just for fun. Like, I don't know. What? Like, I don't know what. I'm sitting here, like, almost having a fucking seizure just saying that. But he would go in, and he was the one that told us about, like, how to skip a lot of this trash, like, in Skullcano, or not Skullcano, Stormtown, where you, like, would run on the side of the walls and then, like, literally parkour up, like, tents.
Oh, yeah, I did that, too. Yep. Nope. We all did that.
Yeah, we definitely did, like, skipping trash, but we didn't cheese any Skullcano, because we didn't know about that until everybody got attuned.
Oh, right, yeah. I just think, see, if you want to go on a Wildstar aside for a second, because I did a podcast about that show, about that game. I think that game had the most potential of any MMO that has pretty much ever launched. But
I agree, yeah.
They just fucked it up so bad with just terrible, like, QA and management decisions and marketing.
Yeah, so I don't think that they fucked it up completely. I think that in a lot of ways, just people lied. Like, people said they wanted hard dungeons and hard raids. And I'm not one of these people that thinks the game was super buggy. Like, yes, there were bugs, but in my opinion, the bugs did not really hamper my ability to have fun playing the game. Like, I can't think of any bug in PvE that was like, wow, that's fucking killing it for me. Like, yeah, there was some annoyances, but not really. But I think for the most part, it's just that people did not. They said they wanted the hard dungeons, and then they just couldn't even get attuned to the raids.
Yeah, but I'm gonna kind of disagree, dude. In beta, there were so many posts about 40-man raiding is not gonna work. Like there was a reason why I went away from it. Do not do 40-man raiding. It's not gonna fucking work, and it didn't work. I mean, for a few guilds it did.
But there was a lot of people saying the exact opposite in way bigger numbers, saying we want 40-man raids, we want hard.
No, I'm going to disagree about.
Dude, I was there from day one.
Maybe
when they first announced it, they were like, people were fucking saying, "Oh my god, we want a hardcore MMO, hardcore." That's why they marketed the game as hardcore, because they saw the fucking huge positive reception that they got when they.
That was their unique selling thing, right? Like
yeah, but they only started doing that once they realized that people were like circle jerking, like, "Oh yeah, we want the game to be hardcore this, hardcore that." But in reality, when those people that were claiming they wanted a hardcore game actually got it, most of them said, "Oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was. Fuck this game." And then
Well, hang on. So, I don't think, if you look at a fight like that boss in Skullcano, right? And for people that don't know, you had to, run around in a circle. You had to jump over things. You had to be good at moving your character.
It was a good fight. I like that dungeon a lot.
I mean, Wildstar fights in general were genius. Like the second boss in that dungeon, where you had to kite him around and jump out of things. I mean, I think when you looked at fights in Wildstar versus fights in WoW is more like a dance. You know, it's like
WoW dungeons are a fucking joke. Like compared to Wildstar dungeons at launch, I think Wildstar had the hardest dungeons of any MMO.
Right. Ever. Well, I'm not even talking about difficulty. I'm talking about
when they first came out.
How you do them.
Yeah.
Right. Like Wildstar it felt like a fight, and WoW feels like I'm not saying bad or for one's better or worse or whatever, but Wildstar was definitely more actiony. And I don't know what point I was about to make. Oh, that's why you don't listen to your fucking to players that much, because players think they know what they want, but they don't really know what they want. But that's on the studio, dude. That is on Donatelli and Jeremy Gaffney and all those guys saying, or having their ego trips to say we're gonna make this game that's gonna be badass and you all are gonna love it, and we're gonna steal all WoW's players and blah blah blah. I mean, dude, did you just hear that Donatelli actually? I guess I don't know if he got shit canned or what, but Chad Moore is now the game director.
Yeah, somebody told me that.
He went from lore guy, lore writer.
There's some weird shit going on over there.
To game director. Jen Gordy went from PvP person to team content lead or some shit.
If there's anybody that dropped the ball on Wildstar, it's her. So I will defend Wildstar in terms of PvE. PvP, absolutely not. The PvP in that game was an absolute abortion. They should feel fucking bad about it. I can't and I'm somebody that is a PvPer. That's my claim to fame. Everybody knows me in Wildstar from the PvE world first shit. But in reality, I'm the fucking WoW PvP guy that loves PvP, and I was super hyped for Wildstar PvP. And then that PvP is where they made all their mistakes, in my opinion.
You know what's funny that about you saying that is, you know what I do in Wildstar now? So I have all the classes except for 3, and when I say 3, I have both factions, all the classes maxed except for 3. I think they're
Dude, you have how many 50s do you have?
8? There's 12. Is there 6 classes?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Dude.
Hang on. There's 6 classes, right? 2 factions, that's 12. I have 9 50s, and 3 of them aren't 50 yet.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because listen to me. Here's what I do, right? So I get hit max content, and the way the PvP is set up, if you guys don't play Wildstar, the way the PvP is set up now is when you go in, right, the max level PvP rewards are not that hard to get. Some of their random drops, some of them are currency grinds. I'm talking about the orange gear, you know what I mean? The purples to oranges. So what's really fun for me is to go in and do PvP contracts. So I'll go in and do the PvP contracts for the day, and I'll get my Xmog, whatever, PvP gear on the different classes, and then I'll play something else. So I don't get super into much of any of them. And the only reason I have that many is because the last time the double XP weekend or whatever, I have a sub in that game, so it's 25% plus the 50% plus all the 100% for the potions and all that other shit. So getting a max level character took literally a couple of hours. So what I do?
A couple of hours?
Yeah, dude.
From 1 to 50?
Yeah. It does not take. Dude,
what the fuck happened to that game? What?
Dude, double XP weekend is 100% more XP
in a couple of hours.
Listen. So they nerfed the XP required by like 15% across the board anyway. So then when free to play went live, they gave you 25% more XP, right? Just as a sub. Then on double XP weekend, you get 100%. So that's 125% more. Then you have the guild, what is it, 10%, right? Or 8%, something like that. And then you have the renowned flask, which is like,
Oh my
I think
god.
10%. And then you have the store bought NCSoft coin Omnibit flask, which is 50%.
So what do you do? Just go into a zone and do like 2 quests and then leave?
About 5 or 6, yeah, pretty
Dude,
much.
that's ridiculous. Okay,
Yeah.
now I don't feel so bad for you because the leveling in Wildstar is not really that good. Like, it's
Um,
not that bad, but it's not that good either.
right, like so it's so fast that you have to the only thing that takes time in WildStar
This is the
is
gear,
ge-
right?
is getting from like when you zone into Wilderrun. Wilderrun is like a level, what is it, like 34, somewhere around there zone. Um you'll level so fast. The only thing that takes time is finding quests that are at level. So you have to run from like the start of the zone to the end of the zone because that's how fast you
Dude,
leveled.
that's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing that takes
Oh, see,
time.
I figured you'd run into a problem area where you'd level so fast that you'd end up having like a level 12 chess piece at like level 37
Yeah,
because like your quest didn't give you a chess piece or something.
right. Like, well, that too. But no, dude, I hope they could salvage that game. I really do. Like, I want to play it on. I play it again. I'm gonna play.
I don't think it's looking very good. Like they
Uh,
released like an earnings report and it's like bad.
well, actually, did you see the newest one? It wasn't that bad. Like, okay. When I say that, it was 10 times lower than the second least earning game for NCSoft, but it was an uptick
But
from
other than that,
other reports.
not that bad.
So, I mean, it was better than the worst it's ever been. I'll put it that way.
I just like how you worded that. Well, it is 10 times less than the lowest.
Listen, so, but see, I logged in free to play. I actually logged in like 2 days ago because I was like waiting for something to down. Oh, I was using my friend's like Legion Alpha account because fuck Blizzard. I should be able to play Legion. So,
You mean your miner? You mean your miner's account, right?
my miners account.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you can share your Blizzard account with a parent or miner.
right,
That's
exactly.
what happened with my Overwatch thing. You know, my son got into the Overwatch beta, but I didn't, so I just used his account.
Oh, okay, good. I need
Yeah.
to. If anybody out there wants to volunteer to be my son,
Yeah.
um, anyway, so I
You're
logged
adopting.
into free to play, and it was like daytime. I think it was on like Friday or whatever. But dude, it was like Ilium was like a ghost town, and it was like this game is free. Like I would hope that there'd be more people. Like there's probably more people playing Archage, which boggles my mind. Like why would people not play that game? Like
See,
is it?
Wildstar, like so many people went like straight up dark side on them. Like they fucking loved the game before it came out. They're like, I want a hardcore game, and then that fucking when their egos got crushed, that love turned to hate. And then like Wildstar more than any other game has like a legion of haters that fucking hate it. Like,
Well, I mean,
you gotta
the
admit-
achievement was pretty stupid, to be honest, on the devs. Like having that process.
Yeah, but have
in
you
there.
seen a game that has had so many people dedicated to hating it though, that played it? Like I have never seen a game like have like such a passionate group of people that without fail will hate on the game everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I just think that like combat wise and just I don't know. There's so much good there. I just don't know
Yeah,
how
it's
you
fucking
couldn't.
depressing.
So, well, let me ask you this. Talking about like art and stuff like that. Do you think that? Do you think? I mean, so I told you I was been playing some console Diablo 3, right? And I've been I looked at Blade and Soul recently, who they call it Boobs and Soul or whatever, which is fine because I appreciate the art in that game. But when you look at like Wildstar, well, not Wildstar because I think Wildstar is a little cheesy, but when you look at Blade and Soul, Black Desert, all these MMOs, even Diablo, right? Is it just me or is Warcraft art team? And I'm not talking about like their environment art.
They're
and their
fucking
NPC
good.
art.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna say the opposite. I'm gonna say they fucking suck.
Oh, really?
Like, the tier art and the weapons and the all that stuff for characters in Warcraft, I think it's so bad and so bland
Oh,
compared to
I
like
wasn't talking about like the gear, but
I'm talking about the gear. I'm not talking about
okay.
environment and NPCs and bosses. I think that stuff's good. I'm talking about like the way your character actually looks. I don't know what it is about their art team, but is it just me or could Warcraft's like gear look so much more
Dude,
badass than it does?
something happened after fucking Burning Crusade. Like they fired some guy that made all the models. Like you know that guy that made all the awesome BC gear. Like he got fired, and then like a whole bunch of retards came in, and Wrath was okay, but after Wrath, it just went downhill, and it just got worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Like if you
when a
look at
new
all
tier.
the, I would go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
I'm saying when a new tier comes out, there's like one or two tier sets in that like selection of stuff that looks good, and then the rest of it looks like utter shit or a rehash of the previous tier's art.
I would love to see statistics for the highest transmogged pieces of gear. I guarantee by far that the highest percentage of gear that's transmogged is pre Wrath of Lich King.
You
Guarantee
think?
it. Yeah, guarantee it. Almost all of it is pre like the highest statistics come from Wrath of Lich King and back.
I'm pretty sure someone has that stat. Probably somebody in MMO Champ or some shit. They probably have that stat, and I would be interested to see that
I
too.
bet it is. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, that all the best looking gear is from Wrath of the Lich King and back.
Right, and they always
And
say
mainly
this like,
Wrath and BC. Classic, yeah, there were some cool models here and there, but for the most part, BC and Wrath had the sickest fucking gear.
yeah, I mean I think it to me it's the colors, right? Like they went with this like and of course if you tell them about it, they're going to be like art is so subjective and blah blah blah, but like why don't more pieces of like why aren't you on fire? And why don't you have things circling around you? I mean, I guess you do in some tiers, but like priest PvP that had the angel wings that came out or like
Yeah,
the Tyrael wings.
I liked the
Like
season 3 priest where it was just that dark fucking robe. And then you'd have that fucking hammer, that giant glowing season 3 hammer.
yeah.
Ah, damn, that was cool as fuck. And then the Rogue Season 2 gear with the purple, like, Punisher mask. That shit was badass.
Yeah, dude.
And
Or
the
yeah, what
Warrior
was that? That's
Vengeful
tier
gear with the
what is that,
faceplate.
tier 6 rogue? Is that tier
Yeah,
6 or tier 5?
it would be tier 6. Wait,
No, tier
which
5.
gear are we talking about?
The Punisher gear is tier 5, I believe.
Yeah, Punisher gear's tier 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, think it's the colors. They're like, oh, we wanted to keep it kind of. We don't want you to have clown, looking, characters with mismatched colors. But it's like, dude, every other game, like, pretty much without fail, every other MMO and game lets you look your character however the fuck you want. Like in Diablo, I could just rainbow my shit out, and I could have a red fucking Roy G fucking Biv down my fucking shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like in just colors if I
Yeah,
wanted.
WoW doesn't have a dye system yet. I wonder if that'll be a thing that they add ever.
Probably not because of how you have to implement it. You have to have dye channels on gear, I guess, or you have to make your. Man, I
Yeah,
think
I
it'd be
mean,
a lot
they
of work to go
recolor
back.
so much of the gear, though. Like, I wonder if. I don't know.
Well, I also think another thing is stupid is the new transmog system that's coming out with Legion, where like it's like Diablo, like you just learn the skin.
Learn the skin? Yeah.
Right. Why does WoW need, in this day and age, why does WoW need to have class restrictions? Because if you look at like every tier set ever, the raid, when it drops other gear, they just reuse the same skin. You know what I mean? Like there's off pieces. So like as a Death Knight, I can get basically most of the warrior tier anyway, except for like one or two pieces that aren't off piece colors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're so bonerish
So
about.
I think, I don't think it's so much for like warriors and DKs, but it's for like warriors and priests. They don't want a warrior looking like a priest. If that makes sense, right?
Yep. Yeah, but who
Like they
cares?
want the classes to look like they're supposed to look. But I see what you're saying about like like warriors can use this DK gear and DKs can use warrior gear if it's of that like generic piece. But I think they just don't want warriors looking like priests. And I don't really care either way. I'd rather just have it be free and open. People use fucking class color nameplates like it's dumb.
Right. I don't, but yeah, sure. PvPers do. Yeah, right. That's the whole thing. I mean, like, well, you're a PvPer, like, so it doesn't fucking matter, right? Like, you on your
No.
left side of your screen, it has the fucking like who the dude is and what his class is.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean? Know
people
what his
already
name-
do stupid shit with their transmogs. Like a lot of the PvPers, like they get like it's like a contest to see who can have the stupidest looking transmog. So there's people with like these like tiny short like t-shirts and like they just get the dumbest looking transmogs they possibly can, and it's like a contest. And like they'll transmog their weapon as like a shovel. It's just like that's pretty funny.
I
So
just think, like, why would you not make all like so much of your fan base happier by unlocking?
They're
I
just
don't know.
opening it up, yeah, completely. I don't know why they don't do that. I think it's just because they want the classes to look like like they would, you know.
Right. Speaking of dumb shit, do you have you followed this Martin Shkreli guy?
I saw a thing like an hour ago where he like tried to buy the DMX rights or something.
I don't know about that.
I know his whole story with him jacking up the pharmaceutical
right.
cost
So
of some like AIDS drug or some shit.
he's also the fucking jackwagon who bought the Wu-Tang album. So
Yeah, that's who I was thinking about.
yeah. So
What'd I say?
DMX.
Oh, DMX.
They're all black. So I guess it's all the same.
DMX.
Just like me, right? Black guys.
Yeah.
So anyway,
by the way, happy Black History Month.
That's right. So that's why I'm on the show, Black History Month.
Yeah. Once the month is over, you're fucking gone.
I'm gone, man. That's it. Back to yeah. So anyway, this guy Wu-Tang Clan made an album apparently, and like Wu-Tang Clan's really like popular, right, in the rap world. But so they made an album, and they only made one copy of it apparently, and they sold it to they sold it off, and they're like, whoever buys this, you can have listening parties, you can put it on the internet, you can keep it for yourself, you can jack off on it, you can do whatever you want, but you just can't make money on it. So this guy, who's this like pharmaceutical shitbag fucking shitlord, bought the album, and he's like, apparently it got seized in like one of his like asset repossessions or something because of like some bullshit he got into. But anyway, so he bought it, and so no one can listen to it because he's the one who fucking has it, right? So apparently on 1 or 2 days ago, Kanye West dropped a new album, and I don't know what it's called because I fucking hate Kanye West, but he had a new album, and Kanye West is really popular, obviously.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've heard of him.
Right, black guy also.
Yeah.
So apparently this guy went on Twitter and he's like, "Hey Kanye, I've got a deal for you, $10 million US. Sell me your album only." And this is like the day it's supposed to come out, or like the day before. Sell me your album only for my listening pleasure. $10 million, take it or leave it. And like, that's what he tried to do. And I don't think he ever got a response from Kanye. But
well,
like,
I heard he got scammed by somebody.
really?
That's the story. I don't think it's really true. I think it's probably just a publicity thing. Why the fuck did Wu-Tang Clan make one? Like, what's the reasoning behind just making one?
So it's like it's this whole thing with like
It's like
them saying like their shit is like art, you know what I mean, and they want it to be rare and popular and whatever. So
It's fucking retarded.
they had this idea to make one fucking copy. of it.
How long has it been since this album? Like, the shit really hasn't come out. Like, cause he's got it.
Right, exactly. So he's got
So
it.
he worked on this fucking thing for, like, I mean, it takes them like a long time to make an album, I would think, right?
Not in rap. I'm pretty sure you can make a rap album in like 46 minutes. But I mean,
That's not
I guess
gonna make anybody mad at all.
no. So like, no. I mean, I don't think it's that long. I think Nelly. I mean, it depends on who you are. Pretty sure
Soulja
like
Boy
Drake
did his
made an
in
album in, like
16
3
minutes.
days. Anyway, yeah, no. So this dude, like, no one's heard the new Wu-Tang album because this fucking white guy, fucking
Like the guy is a complete scumbag, but that is pretty fucking funny at the same time.
Doogie
He bought the
Howser.
shit just so no one else could hear it.
Yeah,
That's
it.
fucking hilarious.
And he tried to do it with the Kanye album too.
I know he's fucking horrible, but that is pretty funny. He's
I
probably got
guess.
so like again, this goes back to like what we talked about in the last episode, how people just do shit just because they know people will get pissed off at it. Like,
Well, you heard him like he had to like testify before like.
Oh yeah, he's like he got in trouble for like financial fraud, like he ran like a Ponzi scheme or something.
Right. Well, he had to testify in front of like Congress for like all this like pharmaceutical again bullshit that his company is doing, and he just like laughed the whole time. And apparently, like he went into the bathroom and he was like, "I can't believe I have to sit in front of these idiots and blah blah blah." And like this like congressional people are like trying to be serious and tell him like he could save people's lives. He's like, they're like, "What would you tell like a pregnant woman with AIDS who's about to die and needs your medicine or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to answer that."
Oh yeah, he's a fucking scumbag. That's for
Oh, he's
sure.
so bad. Like I don't know if like the world could want one person to be
And
like,
plus, he just looks like a scumbag. Like, not
oh
only
yeah.
is he a scumbag, he fucking looks like one. He's just like a little rat-looking motherfucker.
You wonder if somebody like shoots him, just in the middle of nowhere, if the legal
No,
system be like,
it goes back to the saying, "Only the good die young."
right,
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah,
right.
fun times.
Pretty sure that's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the song. Only the good die young.
No, I
Whatever,
got it.
whatever the fuck it came from.
Pretty sure that's Billy Joel.
Yeah, I don't know. They do at work. They crank these fucking 70s. So I used to when me and my brother worked at the same place. I used to wash cars out on the lot, and I had the radio station fucking memorized. Like if you said, "Hey, at 12:15, what song is gonna play?" I could fucking tell you. Cause like they just
That's really
play the
sad.
same goddamn songs, and the radio station is on the same fucking like loop that I had the shit memorized by the end of the summer. And
That's really sad.
I remember freaking my dad and my brother out, and I was like, "Hey, Thriller's coming on next. Just wait." And then they sat there and waited for 2 minutes for the previous song to end, and then fucking Thriller came on.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was one of those jobs where I worked out. So I washed cars out on the lot, and just, you know, and the thing is that it was hot outside, right? But the heat comes off of the cars as well, so it's like super fucking hot. And when you wash one of those black cars, you could like legitimately burn yourself if you like accidentally like are scrubbing it and your arm hits the black paint from where it just is heating up. So
Right.
I think I actually cooked my brain a little bit that summer because I would go out there and like start washing cars like 8 in the morning, and then I'd look at my watch or not my watch, my cell phone, and it would be like 4. And they're like, where did all the time go? Because I would just go into like this like heat trance of some kind where like the time would just go by like it was like almost some sort of hypnosis. You
Right.
ever had that happen where you're driving? I mean, it happens a lot with driving where you'll drive and like you don't remember actually driving there, but you'll just end up being there.
Uh. So no, no, because I usually like watch YouTube videos and like play on Twitter the
That's
whole time.
horrible.
It's
Yeah,
so
but you've
bad.
never had that happen where you like you'll not remember. It's not like you're
I
asleep or
actually
anything.
wrote a song on my guitar on a trip to Fort Lauderdale one time from like Virginia. I had like the fucking neck of my guitar like out the window, like fucking writing a song,
How fast are you going?
driving with my knee on the highway. It's really bad. I don't do. I'm not that bad anymore. I don't know, like fucking highway speed, like
Like
65.
70? Wow.
Yeah, something like that. Before anyone fucking gets mad at me, I don't do that much anymore, and I definitely don't do. I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, we've got a kid in the car. Just like fucking take my phone and throw it out the window if I start playing on it while I'm driving." So, but
Yeah,
now I
the
like
texting and
podcasts.
driving shit is really bad. Like that's gonna be a
Yeah,
real. That's only gonna get worse, man. I
right. What
fucking
do you think is
can't.
worse, the pull-up method or texting and driving?
Oh, that's tough. Uh,
I like your comment on the dude. He's like the one commenter was like, "I'm the pull-out or the pull-out method is king" or whatever. You're like, it works until it doesn't.
yeah, that's true.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess. Speaking of comments, apparently I suck at Gears of War, and I want to address some of your commentators, or especially this guy. I do suck at Gears of War. I'm not gonna lie. Your
I think
comment
he
is
was just saying you suck at Gears of War because the cover system in Gears of War is so fucking good that if you're a good player, you can like abuse it to like insane degrees. Like you have so much control that it's almost like too much.
so. I actually bought an Xbox One like at Christmas because it was like on a deal, and I got the Ultimate Gears of War edition or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yep.
And I didn't know if the I still don't know if the Ultimate Edition is like a rehash or if it's like a new game
It's the
or
first
whatever.
one. It's a remake of the first one.
Okay, it felt similar. But Gears of War, when did that shit come out? That was like the original like
Long
Xbox.
time ago. It's probably been 10 years or close.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't like remember everything verbatim, but I played a little bit of it, and
That is a
I, th-
very hard game to get into.
I think I moved on from games like that, like on rails,
Well,
like shooter
oh,
experiences,
did you play the multiplayer or just the single player?
single player only.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the multiplayer. Like, I thought you were going to have the typical story of, I went into Gears of War multiplayer and got shit on. Because the
No,
people that
no,
the Gears of War community is good. That's just
I'm
one
sure
of
they
those
are.
fucking, that,
You
especially
have
with
to
a game
be.
that's a decade old, like, dude, you're going to get fucking wrecked.
Yeah, you have to be, right? Like, there's no casual player who plays Gears of War multiplayer all the fucking time. Like, that just doesn't happen.
There
Like,
was when it was really popular, but like right
yeah,
now,
I'm talking
like
about right
maybe
now.
when Gears of War 4 comes out, the casual base will come back. But right
Right.
now, it's like holy
You're
fucking
not
shit.
talking about Call of Duty multiplayer,
Yeah,
right? Which is every fucking 12-year-old and their buddy. Um, yeah. So just to address the comment guy, yeah, I'm probably pretty bad at it, but I'm not that bad at Division, which I guess people were telling you to go watch some videos and telling you that it was kind of generic. Did you actually look into it anymore? Are you gonna play the open beta?
I might play the open beta a little bit.
I mean, it's open beta.
Yeah,
I think you owe it to the internet to play it.
yeah, I'm not that excited. I don't think it really appeals to me, but I might give it a whirl depending on what's going on that weekend. What weekend
Oh.
is it? Is it this weekend or next weekend or?
Uh, well, when you say this weekend, do you mean the weekend that's ending in like 4 hours, or do you mean the one that's coming up?
Yes, this weekend.
It's next. It's in like 5-ish days.
Okay.
Right. Uh,
Yeah, I might give it a whirl. It just doesn't really seem like my kind of game. I just don't think it has legs.
okay. Well, we'll play it and then we'll talk about it more. Uh, Star Citizen, though. Somebody asked you about that. Do you play that? It was free this week, and
No,
I was gonna.
I'm gonna wait for it to get like closer to release. I'm not writing off Star Citizen completely, but I am not getting my hopes up for it at the same time. Like with the Division, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna like it. With Star Citizen, I hope I like it. Like I hope I'm wrong. Like I hope that the game isn't too ambitious, and I hope they actually pull off everything they want to do, and it's as great as they say it's gonna be. Then it'll be fucking amazing. I'm just not getting my hopes up because I don't think it's realistic.
Is the way you think about the Division the same way you approached having anal sex for the first time?
I haven't done that yet.
I don't think I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway.
I haven't crossed that border yet. I haven't been with the right chick, or at least I haven't been confident with the right chick to go
Okay.
for that. I'm sure I've been with the right chick that would have been down for it because I've been with a few that not really the 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 most moral of all good Christian girls,
Right.
but it was either I wasn't with the right girl or I wasn't down for it. It's one of those kind of deals.
So my first girlfriend ever when I was in, I started dating this chick when I was like a sophomore in high school, and she was a junior or a senior. I think she was older. She was older than me, but she was a very like homegrown, down to earth, like not excitement, want to get married and have kids kind of person. And we dated for like 5 years off and on. And I got to school. I went to a big public university, UF. And when I got there, like I'm really into like music. Like my thing is like Tool is like my favorite shit. So like I play drums, guitar, but I play a lot of stuff. So I got to college and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like everyone here is hot. And I was like,
Yeah, I would think that Florida is. Yeah, I would think that school has some fucking lookers.
it's pretty high quality, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got into a band, and I was playing like we were playing out like every weekend, which is pretty cool. Our claim to fame is opening for Buck Cherry, which I don't know if you
I
know who
don't know
Buck
who
Cherry
that
is.
is.
Anyway,
That sounds like a transvestite hooker.
yeah, basically. But anyway, and so I found this chick, and she was like tattoos or whatever, like full like the polar opposite of the girl that I dated in high school, and
Fun for a while.
she introduced me to some shit, bro. Like I think that I think that it's a good thing for people to like date a lot of like different types of people before you finally settle down. But I'm not
Mm.
sure I was ready for what I experienced.
Yeah, so
Like she took
I hooked up with a chick that had a this was in high school, and I was a fucking real slob in high school for the most part. So I hooked up with this chick that had a full sleeve like as a teenager, and I was like, oh, she makes bad decisions. Like this is fucking viable for me.
I'm gonna be one of them.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Right.
My fucking strategy, like, luckily I'm a pretty like I'm on the path to being a pretty decent looking dude now. But dude, back then my fucking hookup methods were predatory. Like I was a goddamn. I'm gonna call it like the alligator method or crocodile. I guess crocodile is more accurate. Like I would just sit in a swamp and wait for like 8 fucking months, and then if somebody got too close to that fucking swamp, bah, just fucking got them.
So when you mean you got them, you mean like you surprised raped them?
No, I mean just
What
like
is that?
I don't know.
You gave him the Peyton Manning teabag?
it was not. Let's just say I wasn't hooking up with these girls because of like my merits. It was like, oh, your girlfriend, or
Oh,
you're,
like, I feel really sad tonight that
you're drunk
I-
at this party and your boyfriend's being a dick and just broke up with you temporarily. Well, I'm the guy that's here, and I'm nice, and I'm gonna, make you feel good, and then you're gonna suck my dick,
I got a better
and
story.
then it's gonna be awkward, and it probably won't happen again.
So I was friends with this chick that I worked at a grocery store, and she was there, and my buddy, we did on like a double, I don't want to say a date, but like we took her and her hot friend out, and me and my buddy went out with them, and during the course of that night, she ended up getting a tattoo from some guy in a house in the middle of the woods. It was really crazy. But anyway, her friend was way hotter, right? But so like the whole night, like so he was a very like he was a very like conservative dude, right? So like he was very like I don't know, I don't want to say respectful, but kind of sorta. Anyway, the end of the night, we ended up back at my place. We're all fucking just kind of hammered. I'm not. They are. They're really shit faced. And all of a sudden, the girl that I worked with was Heather, and she was a blonde chick. Her friend, her name was Valerie. I still remember this. Was brunette, and she was way hotter. They started getting into a conversation about like God and like being like good people or whatever. And my buddy was like, I guess he was like a Christian dude. He was like trying to witness to her or something, like trying to like tell her about Jesus.
Oh,
And
God.
I just remember the whole time. I remember the whole time during this party, she was like, "Oh, I really need to go to bed." I was like, "You can come here into my room with me." And she's like, "I don't know if that's a good idea." And I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm gonna tell you more about Jesus in here."
Dude.
It's like, come into my room to learn about Jesus. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, this chick is going to be really hammered, and this is going to be really easy. It just wasn't, and it didn't happen.
Dude,
But
there
I
is
remember,
something
like,
about that though.
I remember my play was, like, trying to tell her that, like, I was going to tell her about all this, like, stuff from the Bible. And by Bible, I mean I was going to show her my penis. But I didn't end up doing that.
Yeah, so like speaking of that, like did you ever do anything like go through the Christian like confirmation thing where you like become a member of the church?
Yeah,
and
dude,
you
I
go
was
to-
raised Southern
Did you Oh yeah, you're from the same fucking. Did you ever go to a confirmation camp?
Yes. No, wait, I didn't
Dude.
go to a confirmation camp, but I went to
So
like a Christian retreat thing.
yeah, so I went to one of those, and I had that's where I had my like first sexual experience. It wasn't like sex, but I think I was like 12 or almost 13, and this girl just like grabbed my dick, and it wasn't like it wasn't like a sexual thing at all though for me, because like I was a really late bloomer, so
Okay.
like it wasn't like and then I came in her face. It wasn't like anything like it. I don't even think I could come yet because I was a fucking late bloomer, very late by the way. But it was like not even like it was weird. It was a fucking weird thing. But I don't classify it as awesome. Like it wasn't one of those things where like, oh, I was 12 and this girl grabbed my dick and it was awesome. It wasn't even like it was just weird. Everything about it was just fucking weird.
That's funny you say that because I'm pretty sure my
Like I
first
wasn't. It wasn't like a rape thing. Like it wasn't like I wasn't like. It's not that I didn't want it to happen, but I also really didn't want it to happen. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, that's funny you
You know
say
where I'm
that.
coming
'Cause-
from, right?
Yeah, well, kinda.
You're like, no, what the fuck is
I
wrong
think
with you?
my first sexual experience was fingering a chick on the church van. So I mean, I get it. Like that's just
Yeah, but I
kind of
just
like
think these I guess because girls develop earlier than boys, where maybe that was the thing.
yeah.
I don't know.
And I
But
mean,
like
I think
but the
too
whole
that
thing
like
was
it's
around
not
church.
it's not that it's about church. I don't think it's about being church. I think it's for a lot of like kids that are involved in like churchial type activities. That's like the first time where you're like really like not in a classroom environment
Yeah,
around.
well, yeah, it was kind of like everybody's out on their own, like we were
Right.
all in like dormitories essentially, so people got a little fucking freaky.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I think that's what it is. It's more like you're just in a different environment with members of the opposite sex.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but that was weird. Like, it's not like a scarred for life thing, but it was just so fucking weird.
I remember that for that church thing that I went to. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably pretty young, but I remember there being like this 17-year-old chick. I think she was 17. She might have been 16, but and I was like young. I might have been 12. I might have been earlier than that. I might have been like 9. I don't know. But I remember the whole time like I like befriended this chick and like not in like a creepy way. Like she was trying to like I guess like I don't know, be like a good Christian person and like witness to me or something, or like she wanted to like be my friend because I was like the loner kid. And I remember thinking, I
She
have
wants
a
the
one in
dick.
100, 100 chance I fuck this chick.
You're 12?
Yeah, it was really young, dude.
Oh man,
And I remember leaving there, and I was
that's
like,
hilarious.
can I have your number or your address or whatever? And I remember like she wrote me a letter that was like a handwritten letter, and it was like, I had a good time at the camp. We learned a lot. Blah, blah, blah. It was like like churchy shit, and I was like, I wrote her back, and I was like, oh, I just had a really good time with you, and I think you're amazing, and I kind of sort of
Oh,
love you.
oh, it's fucking so gross, but I guess forgivable at 12.
Never heard from that girl again. It was really sad. I just remember that
Dude,
like.
luckily I never have done anything cringy like that.
You remember like fucking Dumb and Dumber, where like, so you're telling me there's a chance? That was me
Yeah.
fucking this chick that was like 10 years older than me at the church camp.
You see, I was such a late bloomer that I sort of like never did anything cringy like that because like I didn't really like go after it until I was like 15, maybe 16.
But I mean, like,
So like I never had any of the super.
were you ever like introduced to like sexual things or like at an early age, or like when would you
I
like?
would say that confirmation thing at 12. Yeah, it was fucking
I mean,
a little early.
I mean, all she did was like grab your dick.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a lot though. I would think.
I guess like over your pants.
No.
Oh, in your pants.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you. That's a little different.
Yeah.
So she just I mean, like, I'm trying to get well, I don't want to get a visual of your dick. But is it like a full session or more like I just want to touch it and see if it's
I
spun?
would say it's like a half session.
Okay. All right.
Definitely
See-
some yeah.
See, I had a weird thing because like
It
my
was
dad,
weird, dude. It was really fucking weird.
my
And
dad
again, it
was,
wasn't like a sexual thing for me at all. It was just like, this is happening. All right. I don't even think. I think I got like halfway hard. It wasn't even like a. It was weird. It was just so fucking weird.
I remember when I was like, this was the earliest I can remember. I must have been like 5 or 6, but I was in like a kiddie pool with like my next door neighbor who was a girl and was like of the same age as me. And I remember playing like a show me mine, I'll show you yours kind of game. And I remember like I was thinking to myself, no, fuck this bitch. She's gonna show me her shit and then I'm gonna leave my pants on. She's not gonna see anything. I'm like trick her. And then I remember like she like showed me hers and I like didn't know what they were supposed to look like. So I kept thinking to
What
myself,
the
like,
fuck is that?
I remember no, it was like I was like, where is it? Like I don't see anything. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah, it's
something
down
different.
lower than you would expect. Yeah.
Right. It was just like I was like, you're just like missing stuff. And I remember
That
like
doesn't
after
count.
that, I remember after that being like all sad because I thought I was gonna
You
see
got fucking
something,
ripped
and
off.
I did. I was like, man, that sucks. Like I was expecting something cool, and that's not cool. That was just weird. Like she was deformed. She didn't have anything. See, I don't know. Like I think I have like a fucked up sexual like whatever because like my grandparents raised me right, Southern Baptist, traditional, whatever. My dad I'd hang out with from time to time on the summers, right? And then like whatever. And my dad was very like laissez-faire fucking parent who just like thought he could expose, his kids to whatever and her kid to whatever. Not expose his penis, but like
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
he let me like, curse, and he was like, if you want to do drugs, do them at home so I know you're safe, that kind of shit. And I remember like his fucking his like the talk with me, like how to teach me about sex or whatever, was he popped in the VHS tape Boiling Point, and he was like, "Here, watch this," and then like left the room. And I remember
What?
like watching this tape, and I'm like, "What's going on? This looks like an old movie." I was like, "That guy pulled up in a car. Oh, that lady's broken down. I hope hope he helps her out with his tire." And what is that? What the fuck? What? And I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was like hardcore porn that he like put in, and that was like his talk, was like letting me watch a fucking
Dude, I
porno.
never got the talk.
I didn't either. I got the show.
No,
I
I
guess.
didn't. I didn't get anything. It was
No.
not like none.
So how did you
So
like? How did you like?
luckily there was internet. By the time I got to the age where I was like,
Oh, okay.
craving information, there was internet, and I also wasn't a complete fucking retard either, so that helped.
Right.
Uh,
Interesting. Yeah, dude. So yeah. I mean,
Again, I think that's where being a late bloomer and being late to the fucking party in terms of like going after it kind of helped me there. Because I mean, if you're like these kids saying they lost their virginity when they're like 12 and 13, it's like what the fuck, dude? I was like playing
Yeah.
Pokemon. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck? It?
I mean, I was like, what was I, 15 or 16?
Yeah, I think I was 15 or 16. That's like, yeah, but some of these kids go fucking early. It's just like, god damn, I can see why. Like I can see how you could make some fucking mistakes being that young.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Especially if there's
like,
no internet. I mean,
well,
I guess
right,
I guess the 12 and 13-year-olds nowadays like probably know more about fucking than I do. With all
yeah,
the shit on the internet now.
that's probably true. That's probably true. But I definitely got the wake up though when I started dating that like so I found out like after I dated like churchy chick whatever, and I call her churchy but like homely person, and I was dating this other girl that I met through the band stuff. So it's really funny. We went out on a date, right? And she was like, I don't know how it came up, but or how I found out or whatever, but um she was like into like rough shit, and like she would
That's
like
always fun.
group play with like other couples. She was a freak,
Mm.
right?
I'm,
And so like she tells me all this stuff, and like I don't have that experience, right? Like I have the fucking like vanilla like whatever experience of my girlfriend for 5 years. Like I was aware of like the stuff that's on the internet, but again, I was still relatively young. I was like I think a freshman in college, so I was like 19 or something. Um, so like I remember like we start hooking up for the first time on like our I was like I think it was like our first date or whatever. And I'm like, man, this chick is nothing like my other chick. Like I need to do things like above and beyond to show her that I'm not like terrible in bed or whatever. So like apparently you're not supposed to do this, but like on the first date we're like hooking up or whatever, and I'm getting like a BJ, and I was like, "Oh yeah, suck that cock, bitch." Because I'm like, I need to like talk dirty to this girl or whatever.
I never have done the dirty talk thing.
I was really uncomfortable, and it was really unnatural, and I did it. And she looks up at me and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Abort.
I'll stop. And she got like so mad. I remember we didn't speak for like months because she was like, "Why?" Like she's like, "I don't know you like that. Why would you fucking do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, because I thought you'd like it. Please don't hurt me, and please keep sucking my dick." But like she didn't. It was really bad. But I ended up dating that girl for a while. So word of advice to people out there that may be listening to this show: don't just jump into the dirty talk.
I've never. I don't know. It's just too awkward. I've never gotten into the.
I don't like it. I mean, I've been.
I mean, it's
whatever.
one thing if the chick does it. I don't think it's like that's not like I have no issues with that. But like I just feel like it's almost mean if I do it.
Right. I guess the moral of the story is don't let porn guide your sexual life.
That's generally a pretty bad idea.
Right. Yeah.
I think one of the most. What is that?
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of jobs, and sort of to change the flow a little bit. Did you hear about this guy?
Oh, is this the guy that?
No. So read that little link. And by the way, the comment was you got to post these links so your listeners can read along. But apparently, like this dude was in some Spanish country, and he was like a public employee.
Oh, is this where he like didn't go to work for like 23 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, basically. Basically, they put the guy. He was like retiring at 20 years, and realized that like for like the last 7, he was in like a building by himself and just like hanging out, like doing nothing for like 7 years, and he collected a paycheck. And apparently, they meant to fire him like 15 years before that, and just like never got around to it.
Yeah, I heard there was some sort of it's some sort of like this is in India, right?
I don't know.
No. I remember reading up somewhere that's basically they couldn't fire him. Like apparently it's really hard to fire people unless they do something like horribly wrong. Like if they're just like a lazy, shitty employee, it's really hard to fire people in that area of the world. That's my understanding of the situation.
This is in Spain. So
Yeah.
the guy's name is Jose Fernandez. That doesn't sound like an Indian name to me.
Well, I read up about this story somewhere, and I heard that there was like there's more to it than just like oh the company goofed. Like apparently they tried to fire him, but it's like really hard to fire somebody where they're at.
Well, I mean that happens in America. With that Kim Davis chick from like Kentucky who wouldn't marry like gay couples, couldn't fucking fire her either.
Well,
You
she
know what
was
I mean?
doing her. She was attempting to do her job. She was doing it shitty. This guy just didn't even show up.
Oh, right. Well, arguable, but yes. It's
Arguable. The fuck?
same-
How is that arguable?
Well, I mean, if you're refusing to do a significant portion of your job, I guess.
Oh
You're
no,
right.
I thought you were arguing that this guy that didn't come to work for fucking 27 years or whatever was arguable that he was still doing some of his job.
No, definitely not. I meant like refusing to do a significant portion of your job is definitely not doing.
Yeah, but at least she was showing up, you know?
Right. At least you knew where she was at exactly. Man, I often think that at my job, like, because our company has a really like it's a small company and like everyone's like counted on to like do their part the best of their ability or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And, like, you could definitely like abuse it if you wanted to, and I've definitely had times over the last 5 years where I would be like, I wonder like how long I could just like
Not do anything for her and see how long until people notice.
right, and then just hoping that I could like when I got fired, just be like, just kidding. I was just doing it as an experiment. Please, please just forget
What's
it.
the longest you've done it?
I don't know. I'd say there's like about a week span where I didn't do a lot for whatever reason. And I mean, I've had different roles, right? Like, I would argue my last job in the Navy, I didn't do shit for 2 years, but that was just because I was on an aircraft carrier with 5,000 other people, and there were like 16 people doing the job that one person should have been given to do.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost one of those things where like you want to be doing the job, like you actually want to do it to like pass time.
See, I have a big problem with that. Like, I sort of like did it to rebel against the system when I was in the Navy on my last ship because I was like, like I don't want to. I'm not just gonna be like. I either need to be counted on or I don't, right? Like if I'm here to do a job, I'm not just gonna like pretend like I'm important and like make you do things to like validate my paycheck. Like if you really don't need me here, I'm gonna just go the fuck to sleep. And honestly, that's what I did for like seriously like 2 years. I was on the aircraft carrier. Like we'd go out to sea, and I was an officer, so I got away with this. But I would sleep in my little stateroom, and people would knock on my door and hand me maintenance reports, and I would sign them, and then they would go away, and then they would do that again the next day. And I pretty much just killed like the entire series of Lost in like 3 days.
So what's the form of entertainment on those ships? Do you have internet that's decent, or
what?
what's
Other
the
than
form of entertainment on those ships? Like what's the thing you do?
Masturbating. That's about it. I say that jokingly, but
Well, I know that's in Jarhead, where it's just like, have you seen that movie?
right.
Yeah, where they're like,
Yes.
today, training, eating, masturbating, and it's like goes through like their daily routine. It's like pretty much all just training, eating, masturbating.
So we had we talked about it's rack to the future. So like your rack is like your bed. That's the name for a bed in there. So it's like
Yeah.
you just sleep until
Until it's over.
till the future until it's over. I seriously would sleep 19 to 20 hours a day when
Holy
we're out to
shit!
sea.
But
And
there
you don't
wasn't.
think?
Was there internet or anything? Like, or were you just?
Oh
Fucking...
yeah, no, there wasn't. In the room that you're in, like, so enlisted have like berthing, so they have like bunk beds that are like 2 or 3 high, and then they're all like stacked together, right? So like that's one area, and then like junior officers had a stateroom, so it was like a little room. It wasn't very big, but it was a little room, and it was had a like two bunk. It was a bunk bed, so a bed and a bed, but had a little more space and had like lockers where you can like hang up your uniforms and stuff. And usually there was a TV in it, so we would bring like we wouldn't have internet, but we would bring like a DVD player, like an Xbox, and we would bring like seasons of shows. And then there was like there was an aircraft carrier, so it had TV, but it didn't have very many channels. Um, so I mean, it was either that, it was sleep, watch DVDs, or like I don't know, fucking. I actually, because I recorded music, I actually had a MacBook and I had Logic, which is a kind of like Pro Tools. I don't know if you're a music guy, but it's like a recording software, like a professional
Yeah.
one. And I actually brought electronic drum kit and my guitar and like a keyboard, and I would actually like write complete songs and music while I was underway because I had that much time.
Ugh. See, that'd be fine if there was internet. If you had internet, like it would be like
Yeah.
no big deal. But like no internet, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, and if you wanted internet, you had to go up to like an office, so like a work office, and it was all like satellite
Yeah,
internet.
horrible latency. Yeah.
It got screened through like all the military fucking, you know, safety bullshit too. So like it
Oh,
was
it's
very,
gross.
very, very slow. So email was like a thing, but yeah, there's not shit to do, dude. It's terrible. It's like jail, pretty much. Like if you had to work,
Lake jail. I like
it's
that.
like no, it's like jail.
Oh, I thought you said lake jail.
No, I did not. Which it'd be like that too, but no, it's
Jail in the water, yeah.
jail on the water. Yep. Nothing fun to do. But what's funny is like I was in like reactor, right? So like we had to like be down in the shit like all the time. Like all the fucking like supply people and like air people, like in an aircraft carrier on Sundays they would have like activity day, and there'd be like fucking dudes riding like tricycles and like jumping in bouncy houses and fucking hitting golf balls off the fucking flight deck and stuff. And we'd all go up there and we'd be like, "What the fuck is this? It's like a goddamn
It's
carnival."
taxpayer money at work.
If you only knew. If you only knew. Yeah.
Were you on one of the
So,
big ass aircraft carriers, like the world famous ones, or were you on like a smaller one? Like what's the
um,
one what's the big motherfucker, the Reagan or the Eisenhower or whatever?
yeah, I was
It's
on.
like that fucking massive one.
I was on the Bush, which is the newest one at the time. Yeah. Um, yes. Same.
Is
Sort of
that is that the W Bush or the Bush Senior?
the George H.W. Bush? So the senior. He would actually come out, and he loved his like that they named a ship after him. He
Yeah,
loved
I'd
it.
fucking love it too.
Yeah, he would come out.
The
all the time.
Zybak aircraft carrier. We'd have some
Right.
fucking fiber internet. We'd fucking tow the fiber lines behind our ship.
You would just fuck with like merchant ships just to do it. But yeah, no, that's what we did. So he would come out all the time. Like I mean, they aircraft carriers and stuff are like, that's where they like hide politicians when like big events go on that they don't want them to like get shot and stuff,
Yeah.
and like all kinds of things. So yeah, man.
What was the longest you guys were out in like one, like without coming back to shore?
Well, I didn't do a deployment on the Bush because right when I got on there, it was when they were actually making it, or they just finished making it and commissioning it. So we went out for like sea trials, and then we had to go back in the shipyard because like some clown left like a bag of sand in the thing that wasn't supposed to have sand in it. So we had to like go get like cleaned up and stuff. So anyway, like a month, I think we were out. But I mean, in deployment, those guys are out for a long ass time. Not as bad as on a submarine where you're like underwater for like fucking ever. But yeah, it was like a month.
It's so crazy that
Yeah.
the U.S. military just does that shit for the sake of just doing it. It seems like.
Yeah, well, right. And that was the crazy thing. It's like it's like, why do we need to go? Why do we need to go out to sea? There's no reason to go out to sea. And they're like, well, because we need to be proficient and we need to whatever. And it's like, no, we really don't. When I was on the Minesweeper, I was on it's a wooden ship that's made to detect mines. So like in the Arabian Gulf, like that's where all the oil comes out of.
Hmm.
There's this little strait called the Straits of Hormuz that all the oil goes through. They're really worried about the Middle East, like getting a wild hair up their ass and mining it and like stopping like crude oil shipments to the rest of the world. So the U.S. puts a bunch of minesweepers over there so that if they do mine it, we can clear it in a day, hypothetically. But those ships are like fucking McHale's Navy. Like there's no money in the budget and blah blah blah. Like when I was on them, so they were always broken down. They were always like cannibalizing shit from each other to fix each other, and it was really really bad. And would always like try to be important, but never like really could be. Like they were stationed out of Texas, so like one day we tried to go out to sea. I remember we went out to sea for like a week, and that was like a big deal. We like went out the little inlet to like go out to the ocean, and we like systematically like shit the bed all of our four engines in a row and had to get towed back in. So like that was our big like out to sea day was like like 4 hours of like going out there breaking down and getting towed back.
What
It
kind of
was
boat tows you back? Just
a tug, a harbor tug.
oh, fun.
Yeah, I mean this is Minesweeper dude is like 200-foot ship. It's very small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not you towing an aircraft carrier with one of those. It's like So yeah, it's good times, man. It's a good time.
Hmm. Yeah. Speaking of oil, dude, gas is getting ready to like be close to $1.
You know what's crazy to me is, so if you think about like gas is like prehistoric, extinct biological treasures of the world and plants that over time have perished and over millions of years have decomposed into
Yeah,
black
baked by
matter.
the sun.
Right,
So the
into
energy
black
from the sun has been transferred into this like goo.
right, black organic matter that we mine up after millions of years, right? Like fucking tyrannosauruses and woolly
Yeah.
mammoths. So all that shit costs less than some substance you can squirt out of a fucking cow's tit for a gallon. You know what I mean? Like milk
Yeah.
or fucking water that, some company mines in like fucking Utah or bottles in Utah. Like a gallon of that is less than a gallon of milk or water, which is fucking insane to me.
It is pretty
Like,
wild.
like how gas couldn't be like, $20 a gallon. It seems like it's a much more
They've just
expensive.
gotten so efficient at getting the shit out of the ground.
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
it's
over there in Bahrain, when I was in the Middle East, we filled up our van for 27 cents a gallon. But that's because they just fucking put the pump into the sand, basically, and it comes right out. But
yeah, it's the same with Saudi Arabia. Like in the U.S. and stuff, to get the gas out, it's like a much more of a process, and they have to like refine it and do all this shit. In like Saudi Arabia, you stick a fucking straw in the dirt, fucking.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. My oil stock is I'm kind of in a weird place with oil right now because like
I'd hang on to it, man.
I don't have a lot of money in my Scott Trade account because it's just like my play account or whatever. Like most of my money goes into my 401k, but I've got like $3,000 that I put in ConocoPhillips because ConocoPhillips for a while had like legit dividend. It was like 4.5 or 5%, and I bought it at like $60 or something, and it's down to like fucking like 34, and I'm like, oh, I've had it for over a year, so it's like a long term investment now. I'm just like, like I know I could ride this out for like the next couple of years and it'll come back, but it's just like it's the one investment that I made that's like fucking tanked, and I'm
Dude,
just like,
oil's not going anywhere though. Like Saudi Arabia is just doing some fucking bullshit. Like those countries over there are just fucking around. They'll stop fucking around once they lose enough money.
yeah, I hope so.
That's
I
all
guess.
it is. It's just a bunch of fuckery. Like it's just them trying to drive U.S. oil out of business, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I think if you just write it out, you'll be all right. And
Yeah,
oil's not going anywhere. Like it's
Well,
not
I
like
did it. The thing that's shitty is I did it for the dividend, and so ConocoPhillips is hurting so bad they just slashed their dividend from 75 cents to 25 cents. So like the main reason that I was in it anyway has kind of like been hacked into like a third. So now I'm like, fuck, dude, I could just put my money in like I don't know something else that would. But I guess you're right. Like,
No, I'd hang on to it, man.
it's not that much money again, so that's probably what I'll do. But it's just shitty.
Yeah.
People like the financial discussion on the comments. I
Oh
guess
yeah,
you're
it's
right.
because it's different.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I'd hang on to it just because oil's not going anywhere, man. I like yeah, alternative energy, all that shit. That's great and fine and dandy, but oil is still fucking the shit.
Natural gas is supposed to be like Dominion Power has actually built the big natural gas exporting thing plant up north, and that's supposed to be like pretty big. But natural gas is hurting because oil is so low. So everyone's like, "Why are we
Yeah,
gonna save money on natural
oil is
gas?"
just like taking everything down with it. Like the S
Yeah.
like I like it's good for me because the S&P 500, which is what I'm heavily invested in, is at a 22-month low, almost 23-month low, and that's when I bought in. Haha, motherfuckers. So it's good for me because I don't have much of like I don't I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be spending that money for so fucking long that it's advantageous for me for the market to be shitty for a long time. Um, but yeah, oil is taking everything down with it. It's funny. Well, not really, but it's interesting.
Right. I just think it's gonna be funny when everybody's like, "Oh fuck it, we're just gonna buy our F-350 Super Dualies because gas is super cheap," and then gas is gonna come back up, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, we need to buy Hyundais again."
We've been selling a lot of trucks and SUVs recently. Like, a
Yeah,
lot.
because no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just blow black smoke out the. And that's the other thing. Like, I don't know if we ever talked about, or you've ever talked about, like the people blow my mind that just ignore, like the global warming isn't happening. People like blow my mind because if you think about, like, I looked at the emissions on a new car one time, and I guess I did this calculation. I'm not sure I remember what it was, but like, if like I think it's like a couple pounds of like CO2 and shit per mile that a car like ejects. And if you like, I can't remember the numbers that I estimated, but if you took like all the cars in the US and you had like a penny for every like pound of CO2 that they ejected in like over a year, you would be the richest man in the world. It
I
was
don't
really
doubt it.
it's really crazy like how much CO2 cars are actually pumping into the atmosphere. And I think it's insane just from like a logic standpoint that you could as an individual go, all that it's not really going to have an effect. You know what I mean? Like the earth's not going to heat up. We're just pumping like trillions of pounds of stuff that's not supposed to be into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like what's your stance on like the global warming thing?
So obviously climate change is real. And I think some of it is. I think we probably overestimate how much of it is man-made. I definitely do think we're affecting the environment. I think you're a fucking retard if you don't think that's true. But um, I don't know. I've looked into it, and there's a decent amount of scientists that are saying like, yes, we are affecting the environment, but also the sun has cycles, and there's also a lot of other things at play as well. Um, so I would say I'm like, obviously, yes, we're affecting the environment. Like we're the dominant species on this planet, and we're going to affect the environment. That's why we've been so successful, is because we change our environment. That's why the human race is better than fucking whatever animal. It's because we build buildings and make shit, whereas other animals just live and don't fuck with the environment really. Um, so I guess I believe in climate change, but I'm not as gung ho about it as other people might be.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not like somebody who's like I'm the big
so
climate change.
the thing, so my stance on it is, so I am going to be, I'm not gonna drive like if I'm rich, if I hit the Mega Millions $1 trillion lottery, I'm gonna buy a sports car that just shoots out pure fucking CO2 like bricks out the back of it. But I'm not gonna have any fucking little kids, so my carbon footprint on this planet is going to be small. And that's the thing that motherfuckers don't realize is that, like, cool, you and your family of four drive a fucking green car. Go fuck yourself. Your carbon footprint is huge because you just brought four little motherfuckers on this planet. The big thing is the population. It's not the cars. It's not the this and the that. It's the people. If there was less people, this wouldn't be an issue. And yeah, that's my stance on it. That's the one thing that people don't want to admit.
Yeah, but if everybody did that though, if everybody did that, the human race would go out in one crazy, ridiculous.
Yeah, but people are talking about like, ooh, don't leave the water on when you brush your teeth. I'm green. Meanwhile, they've got 4 kids, and it's just like, dude, the real cause of global warming isn't the cars, isn't the factories, it's the fucking agriculture. It's the meat production. That's the thing. Global warming, all of the climate change is from the fucking methane. What?
I was about to say, you think cow farts are the other reason?
It is. Well, it's part of it. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of the climate change you're seeing is due to agriculture.
I think it's due to the cars, bro. I think
no,
it's. But I think it's.
I'm going to make a bet with you right now that the comments section will agree with me that agriculture is the biggest fucking climate change thing. Dude, it's not even close either.
Wait a minute. Let's not go with agriculture. Let's go with cow farts versus cars.
Well, it's not just the cow farts. It's all the shit that it takes to make meat. To raise a cow, it takes like pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of grass and water. It's an insane amount of resources that it takes to make, a pound of beef.
Right.
And all that cow shit runs down into the water and all the chemicals and all the trust me, agriculture without fucking question.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
I said agriculture from the start, by the way.
Hang on, bro. Listen. Global warming effects and causes, a top 10 list as according to Google. Let's go down them. Number 1, global warming, carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuel burning power plants. Number 2, carbon dioxide emissions from burning gasoline for transportation. Number 3, methane emissions from animals and agriculture. Boom. Fucking champion. I'm out, bitches. Mic drop. Podcast over.
This is the number. No,
this is the sound.
But then I just pulled up a fucking story that says I'm right. This is the thing with this is the problem with the internet. No matter what you fucking believe, you can find shit that says you're right.
Exactly.
I am pretty sure it's agriculture. Because if you think about
aliens, I'm gonna prove it.
If you think about it, though, it takes so many resources to fucking and think about all the meat we eat.
You know what's funny?
And I'm definitely not a vegan motherfucker. I know that like a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's doing," because this is like a common vegan argument because veganism is essentially a religion, an extreme religion, and they always bring this up about how it's meat killing the world and shit. But in reality, if there's just less people, this wouldn't be a big issue.
Shit. What was I gonna say? Fuck it. I'll keep going.
In 2006, UN Agriculture, blah blah blah. Agriculture Organization released a report stating that the livestock business generates more greenhouse gas emissions than all forms of transportation combined.
Nope, I win. I'm not saying you're wrong. They're probably all significant things. What I was going to tell you is, in my job, I call on a lot of different industries. So I call on like NASA, I call on like power plants, I call on all kinds of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. One of my accounts was chicken. And it was on the Eastern Shore. I've called on Purdue and Tyson. And I went to a Purdue factory, and it was a processing facility.
Yeah,
and I was asking the guy there, I'm like, how many chickens do you guys process in a day? And this is one factory in rural Eastern Virginia. How many chickens do you think they process per day?
Thousands.
Just put a number on it.
3,000.
498,000.
I thought you were going to say 498. I was like, oh, really?
498,000 chickens per day. And when they get a shipment of chickens, like on a truck, right? How long do you think the chicken stays at Purdue from by the time it arrives on the truck until it's fucking cut up and in saran wrap?
2 hours.
30 minutes.
What the fuck? See, dude,
30
this is what
minutes.
I'm saying. Like, you can't look at that and say that's not the number one. Like, dude, it has to be.
You know what's crazy is they have them in like a black dark room that's red lights, and actually in the Navy too, the ships are dark and they're lighted up with red lights.
Uh-huh.
So it like apparently the chickens will freak the fuck out if they like realize that there's like a bunch of other chickens around and they're like confined. So what they do is they have them like dark so they can't see, so they don't know that they're like all packed in there. And they also have like a special little section. This has nothing to do with anything. I just thought it was interesting. They have like a little special like sectioned off area where they put chickens in, and then like a rabbi comes in and blesses them, and then like that's the kosher fucking pound of chickens.
Oh, you're shitting me.
They keep them separately. No, they really like kosher eating shit. They
Oh
actually
my
had like
God.
a rabbi dude who shows up every day and blesses them. I'm not kidding. That's like actually a
That's
thing.
fucking retarded.
Well,
So
you can't
fucking-
just say it's kosher without it being kosher. You have to make it
Is
actually.
that shit
Kosher,
for organic food?
I guess. I guess. Oh man.
Oh
So-
my god, man. That's fucking retarded. Yeah. That's the thing though, like a lot of people are like they claim how unethical like all this shit is, but it is kind of sad if you think about like farm factory processing animals just like
Oh yeah, dude. It's
systematically slaughtering like what did you say 400,000 chickens a day?
498. Half a
Dude,
million.
500,000 chickens a day. Like
Right.
these things are like there's people that have pet chickens. Like Sacred Heels, who's a YouTuber, had pet chickens, and they were like farm chickens that they use for eggs. But the things would like come to you if you called them, and like they're like little animals that have like souls and brains and shit. I mean, yeah, they're not the smartest fucking things in the world, but you know they're fucking sentient.
You know what's
And
crazy
you just
is
kill
like
500,000 of them in 30 fucking minutes.
you know what's
Just
crazy.
just to fry them up and put them in our fucking KFC buckets. Like, god damn.
You know what's crazy though is like think about America. Like if we didn't have the chicken, right? The chicken is a goofy looking fucking bird, right?
Yeah.
If we didn't have that, what would people eat? Like what would white chicks eat? Like nothing. Like
Dude,
you would eat.
Yeah, I ate some today. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna eat. Like turkey's okay, but like
And
no one
this-
eats that
and
all the
this
time.
goes back to what I was saying about it being the number one. It's got to be the number one for green. It's just got to be. Think
Yeah.
about all the fucking meat people eat.
No,
I
yeah,
eat
I mean,
chicken. I eat meat every fucking meal. I think every meal. Like I can't think of a time where I didn't eat meat in a meal.
right. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it, dude. I think it's pretty fucking crazy, but it's just weird to think of like, we're so reliant on one little type of
Yeah,
thing.
the chicken is badass, and eggs are fucking amazing too, man. Eggs are so good.
Scrambled eggs, not like fucking weird, like over easy eggs. Speaking of pets, have you ever owned like weird pets?
Nope.
Are you a pet guy? Do you have pets now?
No, I don't think I will be either. I really enjoy not having any responsibilities whatsoever.
Did you not have them as a kid?
Yeah, I did as a kid. You know, my dad's got we had two golden retrievers, and my dad's got a big ass German Shepherd that's fucking stupidly big.
So, my friend had like I've had buddies that have had chickens, and they're like they make a terrible fucking pet. I had a snake in college, and
What the fuck is wrong with you?
it's actually it was a ball python, which are really docile, but I actually did some pretty provocative things with that snake and that girl I dated
my
with
God.
tattoos. But anyway, that's not what I was going to tell you about. What I was going to tell you about is so I wanted to get some food for the snake, and I had mice as a pet. And you know how like everybody talks about like rabbits and snakes, and they're like, oh, they fuck all the time and they make babies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this won't be a big deal. So I bought like a little 10-gallon like aquarium and some like bedding, and I went to the pet store and I had to buy a mouse for my snake once a week because it ate about once a week, and it's pretty cool to watch him eat. And I bought a male mouse and a female mouse after a while, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna let these things have babies, and I'll have a never-ending stream of mice for my snake. It's gonna be fucking genius, right? It's gonna be lifetime supply of food. So I put these two mice in there, and like after not too long, right, all these little mice nuggets were born, And I'm like, this is gonna be great, dude. This is gonna be genius. I didn't realize that mice reach sexual maturity in like 2 weeks. Like it's really fast. So
Really
like,
multiplying.
right. So I had 2, and then I had like 8, and then I had like 24, and then before you knew it, like half the fucking thing was like 3 inches deep in mice. It was retarded. And I went on a trip, and my buddy was there, my roommate. I was like, hey man, make sure you feed my mice. And I'll just say that he forgot that I asked him to do
So
that.
they're just all dead.
No, dude, I came back.
Did they eat each other?
There was one mouse left in the cage
Oh.
with a crazy look in his eye.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, well, I guess that happened. There went my mouse.
Was there any remains?
There was like a couple bones and like some fur. And that was about it left in the
They say that about the pigs, that if like pigs, like if you fall into a pig pen and there's like a bunch of pigs, they'll eat you alive and there won't be any remains. Like they eat everything.
I'm pretty sure that happened in one of the Hannibal movies. Didn't it?
I haven't seen it.
What? You haven't seen Hannibal?
No. Oh, by the way, the guy that you just texted, who dis? That's fucking me.
What?
You texted me, who dis?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You gave me your number.
I didn't do that.
Dude,
I'm
is
telling-
you.
No, it isn't. I didn't text you. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you. I didn't
All right,
text.
I'm gonna give you the last four. I'm gonna give you the last 2 digits of your phone number. Okay.
Okay.
Are the last 2 digits of your phone number? Shit. Oh my god, I'm bad at iPhone. Oh my god, how do I get my contacts? What the fuck? Swear to God, this is you. Do you have your phone with you right now?
Yeah, I have my phone.
You gave me your number.
Okay.
Let's see. It's the phone, and then. Let's see. Are the last 2 digits of your number 33?
No.
What number did you give me?
My phone number, which is not the fucking number.
It's
that
not.
you're
It's
looking-
not 604-6433.
No.
I texted that number saying, "Hey, we're still on for the podcast, right?"
Whoever you just texted,
This guy's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
you got like 2 digits wrong. That's fucking funny. No,
I swear you gave me your number. You might have given me
No.
the wrong fucking number.
I did not. That's my phone number. Remove the 0 between the 7 and the
Or
6.
don't tell. No. Dude,
I'm
I'm
just
just to
telling-
edit that out, man.
Do what?
I said that you better. I hope I edit that out.
Is it you're showing it right now?
No, you sort of told them your number if they're smart enough to figure it out.
No, I didn't.
I gave away the full number, and then you said to swap. Never mind. No one in my audience is smart enough to figure that shit out. So
Listen, if I get dick pics from random internet people, I'm all right with it. I don't care. Anyway, what were we talking about? Some random dude texting you.
yeah. This guy.
I've had conversations with random people that I've texted and it been the wrong number, and it turned into a pretty nice conversation.
Here, let me see if this works here. Here, you want to see a big ass? You want to see my dad's German Shepherd? Look at that fucking dog. Look at how big that motherfucking dog is. Like, people don't believe me when I say how big that dog is, because they're like, German Shepherds only weigh fucking 75 pounds on average. Bullshit. That dog is fucking huge. That dog is like 135 pounds.
That's a big dog.
That's a fucking huge dog. To put things in perspective, my dad, I think, is 6'2". That's a
That's a big
fucking
dog.
lion.
I'm just looking at the little pictures of little Zybak on the fucking bookshelf behind him.
There's not a picture of me on there.
I'm just looking at the
You're
Kiss
looking at
albums.
random pictures.
I'm looking at random pictures.
But yeah, that's my dad's German Shepherd I was talking about. Look at that.
Nice.
That's a fucking massive dog. I will put the links in the description now for the
dog.
podcast. But yeah, no, people didn't believe me when I made a video like showing how big the fucking dog was, and like, dude, you're bullshitting. There's no way he's over 130 pounds. How big do you think I'm bullshitting when I say that dog's
No.
like over? That's a fucking huge dog.
I mean, I had an English bulldog that weighed 75 pounds, and it was only like knee high, or
That dog is like that dog is probably definitely over 5 feet if you stand him up. Gotta be.
See, big dogs are cool to own, but they also make big dog shits.
Dude, his shits are unbearable.
They make big
Dude,
dog.
he can't even stand his own shits. Like
Really?
he'll take a shit and then he'll run away. Like he'll take a shit and then he'll start like doing like the dog jog where they like not like running full out, but like going pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah, his shits are vile.
See, at least though, like when I had my English bulldog, he you had to wipe his ass because they have this little retarded knob tail, and they like can't move their tail out of the way of their asshole. So like when they shit on their tail like half the time. So either you wipe their ass or they're gonna take a shit and come in and get shit all over your house. It's really bad. Cool dog though. Just I don't know, man. I think if I got another dog, I'd never get another dog. But if I was gonna get another dog, it would definitely be a smaller dog, like a little, like whatever, just a smaller something, not like an ankle biter mean dog like a Chihuahua, but something that's like a decent size but tiny.
Yeah.
Right now, my wife has this affinity for weird fucking cats, so we have a Sphinx. You know what a Sphinx cat is? It's a Mexican hairless looking thing. You know what I'm talking about?
This thing, no, but that sounds horrible just based off the description.
Hang on. Sphinx cat images. Looks like this.
Yeah, that sounds about as horrible as I was imagining.
Yep. It has no hair. It feels
dude,
like
that thing, dude. Those things shouldn't even be alive.
When she brought it home, I was like, it looks like an alien and it feels like a nutsack. I started calling
these
it
animals
alien.
should not be alive.
I started calling it alien nutsack. It feels weird. And she's also got a it's a midget cat. I forget what they call a munchkin. That's it, a munchkin cat. That it's like a normal cat, but it has like retarded legs. So like, here I'll link this to you. So we have one hairless cat, and we have one cat that has like half legs and it's fat. So when it runs across the ground, like
at least these things are cute.
Its belly like hangs on the ground.
These are like the wiener dog of cats.
Exactly. So, my buddy actually bought in Florida, bought a Savannah. I don't know if you know what a Savannah cat is, but
no.
It's a domestic house cat mixed with a serval, which is like a wild like kind of like a bobcat. So it's like a cat that's the size of a dog, but is also like kind of wild. I don't know why you would do that, because I wouldn't want to live. Like, cats can be assholes whenever they want to be from time to time, and I wouldn't want to live with a cat that is the size of. Here, let me show you this. Look at that shit. Like, would you want to live with fucking that in your house?
No, that's a fucking killer.
Yeah, why would you do that, right? Like, you're seconds away from death if that thing decides to like go ape shit on your face.
Well, that's the thing with cats, is that they're like incredibly proficient. Like, even the domesticated house cats are like very good hunters. Like, they kill shit constantly, and like people just don't know about it.
I don't know about my cats.
Dude, are you familiar with that cat breed that's like almost like it looks like a fucking like wild jungle cat. It's got like crazy coloring, and they're like really hyper and shit.
No,
like there's some of these cat breeds do look like they're pretty damn fun, because they're like super active, but apparently they're so high energy that it's like almost annoying.
Well, I'll tell you what, that naked cat, the little hairless one, is the best pet I've ever had. Like, I hated it when she brought it home because they get cold, right? Because they don't have any fucking hair. So what it does now...
again, why these things shouldn't be alive.
Listen, what it does now is it sleeps on the... like, we have vents in our floor from our central heat.
Uh-huh.
It sleeps on the heat vent because it can't get warm enough ever. But when we first brought it home, like she let it sleep in the bed, right? So I sleep naked. It's what I do. And this little cat would like burrow under the covers because it couldn't be out because it got cold, so it would burrow under the covers. Well, not only would it burrow under the covers, apparently that didn't make it warm enough when it was a
Oh
little
Jesus.
kitten. It would try to burrow into my ass crack. So like I would be sleeping and this little thing would start pawing at my fucking ass. I would like get so angry. I would get so pissed off at this little cat. Cause I mean imagine you're dead asleep and all of a sudden you get a fucking paw up the fucking chute. You know what I mean? Like it's not fun. So I actually ended up going to Walmart and for a non-zero amount of time I slept in a sleeping bag in my own bed to protect myself from her cat.
Rather than just putting like underwear on.
Well, right, but it would do it in your back too. Like it was just irritating. Like it would, you know what I mean? Like it would like just try to nuzzle up
That's
to you. I mean,
fucking retarded. You had to sleep in a sleeping bag in your own bed.
I did for like
Dude, that is so fucking dumb.
for like 3 weeks. Finally, like the cat got big enough that it could like sustain some of its own body heat, and it actually chilled out a lot because it was really hyper too. Like you would put it on the bed, it would like hop around on the bed, and like if you like moved a little bit, it would like pounce at your appendage that moved under the covers. So if you like moved your foot, it would like pounce on your foot, which is really irritating in the middle of the night. But so now though, it's really cool because it doesn't give. It's like a dog. Like you can flip it on its back, doesn't care. It'll like rub its face on your face, like on your beard, you know, to like scratch itself. It's like a really cool pet now. But yeah, when she first brought that fucking thing home, man, that was the worst experience ever. I almost was like, we need to find the home for this thing because I'm not dealing with this fucking bullshit anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever get pets. I like not being tied down by anything. Like having a pet.
I just saw your apartment on YouTube. I don't know if it was a recent video you did.
Wow, when was it posted?
I don't know, but it was you were like showing off your fucking like special case cereal.
Oh yeah, that's a new one.
And
yeah,
like
that's a new one.
Your beat station.
My posters. That was the highlight.
Your posters and your thread count sheets.
Yeah, dude, that was so fucking worth it.
I will say that investing in your bed is probably the most solid life advice you could ever give
someone. Dude, it's so much better. Like I think I spent $250. No, it wasn't that much. It was like I guess it was like close to $250 on just the pillows.
But see, the problem is though, you have like that prison blanket. That's like that wool, like gray, like weave fiber shit. You got to get a down comforter, dude.
Dude, those are fucking comfortable as shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
The fucking prison blanket? No way.
It's not a prison blanket.
You have a prison blanket.
Dude, those are the opposite of prison blankets. Those are like big, soft, furry, fucking amazingness, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you. Just trust me on this one. Go to like Bed Bath & Beyond and get the biggest, fluffiest like down comforter you can find and a duvet. Or a duvet. It's like a thing that goes over it because you don't want to like get jizz on it because it's expensive and you can't wash it. But yeah, get like a big down comforter and I'm telling you, it'll change your life. Like you're halfway there already with like your bed and your.
I've had one of those before though. I've had a really nice comforter and they're kind of a pain in the dick.
Okay. Well, I mean,
like so what I like about my current setup is that I have two of those blankets, two of those like thin fur things. And dude, they're not. Well, I need to Google what a fucking prison blanket is.
I'm telling you, it's the same blanket that we have in the Navy. It's a standard issue wool blanket.
Like, no, it is not that at all. That looks horrible.
Wool blanket.
It's not.
Images by military surplus blanket. It's right here.
Dude, it is not that at all. Let me find a Google image of what I actually have.
I just linked it. Standard issue fucking military special prison blanket. Right there.
That's not it at all. That's what you have. That looks like some shit you'd wrap around a package to secure it. Like to put padding around a package like before you put it in like shipping.
Right.
Let me find what I've got. Oh my god, that does look horrible. It's not that at all.
It's like when you put it on, you just like itch the whole night.
Dude, wool is a motherfucker too.
Have you I just googled prison blanket. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. Have you had any like chicks over that you like went on dates with that like got to experience your bed?
One.
How did was their feedback positive?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
good.
wasn't. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like a date though. But
Well,
she fucking was into it.
what do you mean it wasn't a date? You just brought
It
her
wasn't.
over
I didn't fuck her. That's what I'm trying to say.
so it's not a date if you don't fuck.
Well, I mean, it was no. She came over, and she laid on the bed, and she's like, "Yeah, this is nice." And that
Oh.
like, I haven't like broken this thing in yet.
Did you tell her that as like a subtle hint?
No.
You're like, yeah, I haven't broken that in yet. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I was
No,
like,
but-
I've got
Dude,
Netflix.
even if I, dude, I bought the shit just for me, to be honest. Dude, I enjoy the shit out of it. Even just jerking off alone.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Red is not a very good color of sheet in order to hide jizz pat stains.
I plan on washing it though.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not.
Are you a fan of like stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
So I love Joe Rogan, and like one of his things is like I'm like the laziest jerker offer ever, and like when I do it in bed I just fucking pat it down with a sheet.
Oh, dude,
Oh, that's funny.
I'm a big fan of the paper towel method.
Paper.
You
Oh
you
man,
just cover that shit up with a paper towel. You just like double wrap it around your fucking hand. Better
that's
safe than sorry.
oh that's terrible, dude. Terrible. Oh man.
You just have like a
Yeah.
trash can full of vileness right beside your bed.
You know, I did one time this is how bored I got in the Navy was I had like this little like washcloth thing.
Oh,
that
I can
used
see
to,
where
like,
this is going.
it was like my beat rag, and I was like, I wonder how crusty you can make the same beat rag. So I'm pretty sure, like the whole time we were underway, like I would just by the end of like what time we got pulled back in, I'm pretty sure you could hold a corner of this thing and it would just stick out like a piece of cardboard. Oh man. It was to the point where I didn't even want it. I mean, obviously to touch my body because it probably would have cut me. It was so like starchy.
What is it, like one of those things where you like come on it and like it doesn't even seep in? It just
Right.
like it just like sits on the top.
It just sits on it. Exactly, and it's like some weird like
It has to
yellow
fucking
color
evaporate.
after a while. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
That's
Jesus,
funny.
dude, that's awful.
I think what I think is funny is like the population of like the world is contained on like this little fucking rag.
Yeah, like I wonder how many like potential children have been massacred by the
Feeding?
fucking paper towel roll.
A
in
lot,
there.
a lot.
Yeah.
I just that's all weird, dude. Is like I look at my kid and I'm like, holy shit! Like you were one in like a trillion that rocketed out of my nuts at any given day, at any given time, and you just happened to be the one that found the egg. That's weird, but I guess that's how it is, man.
especially since you were like testing your luck there for a while.
I know, like
The whole
talk
like
about all the.
letting it rip thing. You got
If I can make a daughter, then I
Beyblade
can.
of fucking over there. Let her rip.
That's it, buddy. That's it. You haven't lived until you just do that.
I don't think I'll ever do that, dude. I really don't. I'm a real
So if you
conservative fucking person when it comes to that
If you
shit.
get if you get snipped though, then you don't have to worry about it, and you can
I'm
just let it.
seriously considering it.
I mean, it'd make your sex life. You probably want to have sex more if you like.
I don't have an issue with that.
Experienced it without condoms. Telling you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's way fucking better. I'm not gonna question that.
You know what I found the other day was kind of funny. I was on the Elite Nation show, and we were talking about man, what were we talking about? I can't remember, but I had to tell them what a fleshlight was because they didn't know what I was talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Of course I do.
Okay. They didn't know what that was. I'm pretty sure that's
Really?
common knowledge what that is.
Yeah, that's it. I think that. Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about like how convenient it is, like the world's amount of information is available on your phone, and like your phone does everything.
Yeah.
And The only thing you can't do though is fuck your phone. You know what I mean? Or interact with your sex life. And I can't remember exactly what we're talking about. That's going to sound really weird to the
That's
people.
gonna become a thing though.
I hope so. I was saying like they don't have a flush phone.
Dude, that's already a thing. It's like
No,
it's in development. So
what?
like essentially you're gonna be able to have so you're gonna be able to pair your phone up with a fleshlight, and then like if your girlfriend is like in California or some shit, then she gets to control the fucking fleshlight via like the phone.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, it's not the same, but it's still pretty goddamn ingenious.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, they already have like those like remote control like panty things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wonder how bad the latency fucks with it. Of course, we're gamers and we think of that shit. What if the latency's like?
I wouldn't think that, to be honest.
This fucking lag! Fuck!
This is lag. I'm not. This isn't doing it for me. Oh, it's because of the fucking lag. That's why.
Need to work on their servers. Their fucking netcode is shit.
Hack it.
Anyway, what were you saying about fleshlights?
I'm just saying, like, sometimes it would be cool one day if you could actually, instead of just looking at porn on your phone, you could actually like bang your phone in some way.
Dude, if that happens, then like the whole female gender is fucked.
No, like, I think if we really nail VR porn, because already have you seen
if sex robots are a thing, then the female gender is fucked. Like,
have you seen like not a sex robot?
How are they gonna get free shit?
Have you seen all the VR devices that are coming out this year? So, you know about the headsets, right? There's the Oculus,
yeah,
the Hive, and the fucking PS1 Morpheus and all that. So there's two devices. One of them is called the Virtuix Omni. I don't know. Have you seen this?
No.
So you should probably Google it. Virtuix Omni. It's a treadmill. It's a circle. It's a treadmill, and you get in it and you strap in, right?
Mm.
So imagine you're playing like Call of Duty, right?
I think I have seen this where it's like an 8-way treadmill.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you, instead of moving like your controller to move your dude, you actually have to run. You have to run and jump and like all that kind of shit to make your dude actually do it, which is pretty fucking ingenious. So if you pair that with, there's this thing called the Tesla suit that you put it on, and it's a haptic suit. So like if you get shot like in the dick, like it actually like takes a little pulse and like actually it's like you feel everything.
It's like an electric shock or something.
Yeah, like a little. It's not like ridiculous, but it's just
you
like,
feel it.
You'd feel it exactly. So they already have those devices that are coming out like this year for VR. Like VR porn, like could be like next level shit. Like one day, like you're gonna be able to just like matrix up. You know what I mean? And like fucking.
Dude, that'd be fucking amazing.
Dude, seriously, like why would you ever date anyone?
I know.
If
think about all the extra money you'd have.
Well, right, but I mean, like,
and all the less bullshit you'd have to put up with.
I think it would actually be like the downfall of humanity if you could just like
we just like that's the extinction. That's how we become extinct. It's just that none of the dudes want to deal with the bullshit of women, and they all just fuck their virtual VR girlfriends. And that's how we go extinct.
Women, dude, they're like, you know what I mean? Imagine if you could, if you like, if you like white guys with black eye dicks, you could have that as a woman. You could just have a white guy with like a fucking 10-inch fucking black dick on him. Or, a black guy with black dicks if you're a Kardashian.
All right.
I'm just saying, like, whatever you want, dude. Like, you could have whatever. No one would do anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we'll probably get there one day.
I welcome it. I welcome our fucking overlord sex robots.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. You'll just make internet videos and you'll be like, hey guys, today I designed...
I'll be doing an unboxing of it, an unboxing video.
Unboxing of... Yeah, I hope you just don't do a fucking PvP
Let's Play
match. Exactly. Let's play. Oh my god. Good stuff.
YouTube whoring to a whole new level. Let me look and see.
I mean, watch YouTube. Like, you could just... Who would watch YouTube if you could just like... Wasn't there a movie though? There was a movie a long time ago where like people recorded things, and then like you could play back the thing as if you were the dude who recorded it, and like people would record crimes and stuff. I forget the name of the movie, but that was a thing. I don't know, man. I don't think it's too far fetched to have like a matrixy shit where like you're in like a dream state, You know what I mean? And you're dreaming, but it's like kind of real because like we don't really understand dreams anyway, or like memory or any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like who knows, dude? They just had that article that like showed that like people's memories are like 10 times beyond what they thought the brain had capacity for. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, the brain really is the last frontier, in terms of us like understanding the human body. It seems like everything else is pretty mechanical. Like yeah, the heart's complicated, but we kind of know how it works sort of, and it's within reason that we'll be having like really kick-ass artificial hearts in the next 50, 60 years. But the brain, that's rough, man. Once you get like Alzheimer's and shit, like we don't know dick about any of that shit.
Yeah. I think science in general is a little. I mean, I'm from that or a scientific kind of world, right? And like physics and all that stuff. I think science in general is a little arrogant when it comes to like what we actually know because like if you look at like the only way we interact with things is via our eyes, right? And light and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole other side to the universe that we as humans can't really process because we can't understand it and see it. You know what I mean? Like the dark matter and dark energy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe we'll get there one day, but I just think that like, for as good as science is, I mean, I think it would be worthwhile to kind of step back to sometimes and think, there's a lot of shit that humans just don't. I mean, like life, like what the like you could make a. I mean, you could what does it mean to be like alive? Like how would you like kickstart somebody back to what I mean? Like what does that even mean really? Because like I don't know.
I feel like we're stoned right now. We're having
I know,
these
dude.
discussions.
I know. No, I just think of dumber shit when I'm stoned. I think of like grass, and I'm like,
Isn't it
it's
amazing?
like it's like Earth's carpet.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's like one of
Yeah.
those memes. Those like the high guy. You're familiar with that meme?
Yeah, the bake dude.
Yeah. Those are
Yeah.
always pretty good.
I'm
Anyway,
telling
you
you,
want
dank memes, man. We got to circle back to
the,
dank.
the meme talk? That's what people call this podcast, or that's what people have always called it as a nickname. Because somebody suggested that when I was looking for podcast name suggestions. Meme talk. I
Memes
just
are
thought it
really
was funny.
underrated, and I also think people in general aren't that good at memes. Like the
I'm
internet
not.
as the
Yeah,
internet as a whole is, but like I don't think people in general are. I think it's a skill.
I think that I'm not. I don't like to think of myself as a meme master, but that 100,000 subscriber Drake meme, that shit was fucking fire. That was like grade A meme, and other people appreciated the fuck out of it too.
Have you speaking of like memes, are you familiar with the Reddit roast me?
Yes,
Have you seen those? Like some of those are like the best fucking things in the history
some of
of the
them
world.
suck ass. A lot of them suck ass though.
Right. So like you have to find like the good ones.
Some of them are very good.
Yeah. So like this one chick that's like, if unenthusiastic handjob had a face, this would be it. I bet you have a freckle for each time you got fucked in college. You look like Vladimir Putin's aborted son. Um, some of these are like pretty funny.
Some of these are so shitty though. Like if it's like a good looking chick, it's always like, I bet you fucked a lot of people, or it's like, what's your Pornhub channel? Like it's just like, come on, those like suck.
No, right. Those are dumb, right? But the top ones are like really good. Like there's this Chinese kid right here that says your parents must be furious with the one-child policy.
This one's pretty good. It's like it's this chick with a pretty decently sized nose, and it said nose job question mark. Fuck that. You need a nose career.
You look like you can't keep a boyfriend much longer than you can keep a meal down. And it's this like really skinny chick. Oh my god. Oh, this one's really bad. Check this one out. I think you'll appreciate this one. I'll send it to you. Oh shit. Well, it's this white guy and this Chinese girl is his girlfriend, and it says roast us. And then it says my grandfather roasted your girlfriend's family in Hiroshima.
Link it.
It's, um there you go. That's fucked up. That's for pretty good, dude. Some of them are genius. It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Speaking
I saw
of,
one where it was a picture of a chick that had a lot of mascara on, and it said the Texas Chainsaw Mascara.
Oh man, I often wondered like how easy it would be. Like when I was in school, we would go to like these there was a comedy college that was like right next to like it was just a
Comedy
ploy at a
college.
comedy club to get some money, but like you would go and they would teach you like the basics of like stand up comedy. And I
Yeah.
often thought I wondered to myself like because we would see these kids like get up there and like that was our biggest enjoyment was like seeing like going up there to seeing the amateur comedy stand up night. And it wasn't because they were funny. It was because they were hilariously god awful, and they would just be really awkward for them to bomb in front of like a whole club on their first night doing stand up. So like, if somebody would get up there, they would like try to be good, and they would tell a joke, and it would be like the worst fucking joke of all time, and not be funny, and like inevitably the audience reaction would be the same. Like they would get up there, they would tell a joke, and there would be stunned silence for like 2 seconds, and then everyone would roar in laughter at the person and not at the joke.
Dude, stand-up comedy is fucking hard, man.
You think?
Like, yeah.
You think?
Yeah, dude.
Have you ever thought about like writing some material and seeing if you could do it?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I've gotten that far. I've always wanted to do it because a lot of people say I'm pretty funny, but the thing is, I'm funny in the sense that I have to have somebody to play off of. Like, if
Right.
it's like a group conversation, I'm funny as shit. But being up on a stage by yourself, that is fucking hard. Because, like, think about it. Like, I'm going to put you in a situation right now. All right, Dopamean, be funny.
No,
Be
see,
funny.
But,
Like,
see,
it's
like
hard.
that though. It's not right. It is, but I think the point of like stand-up comedy is that like you're creating the situations yourself. Like I'm not saying that it's easy. I think it would be very difficult too. But I think the key in doing stand-up comedy is finding like your persona. You know, like Mitch Hedberg. You know, I mean, I loved him to death. Not very many people could pull off his shtick and make it work. You know what I mean? And I think like a lot of people turn into somebody else on a stand-up comedy stage to make it work. You know what I mean? Like,
I can see what you're saying, yeah.
yeah,
They have personas.
right. They have personas, and they also create the type of situations that they're funny in. You know, like I would say when you're by yourself, you have a lot of control about like setting up the jokes and shit. But I've seen some good. I mean, I've seen Jim Carrey bomb and then like crawl into a piano. He was
Dude,
trying.
yeah, I know, and that's the thing is that even the fucking good stand-up comedians still bomb. Like the headliners that have like specials on Netflix and shit still bomb.
Right.
Yeah,
It's all about the crowd, dude.
yeah, it's fucking wild, man. I wish I had that skill. That's a skill I wish I had.
Talk about a fun job, dude. You imagine just going around to clubs, getting up on stage and telling jokes for like 45 minutes and have everybody love you and then like go to another one the next night and that's what you do.
Yeah, well, it's like most things that are like that though. They call it they're overnight successes. You know, they've been doing stand-up comedy for 10 years and then they're an overnight success. You know, they do it for so long and don't get paid anything, and then, you know, all of a sudden it clicks. And then
Right.
they've got the dream job. But for the most part, a lot of these dudes that are, you know, famous for doing it have been doing it for so long and didn't make money at it for so long. And now finally they're actually making some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind, man. I respect the fuck out of, you know, good stand-up comedy. I like it a lot. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy.
Yeah. I think it's hard to beat. I saw Tosh in Norfolk 2 years ago, and I don't think, I mean, everybody thinks he's like overplayed or too famous or whatever. I don't think there's anybody more genius than him at fucking stand-up, dude. Just the way Daniel Tosh is kind of like the Deadpool of stand-up comedy in that he makes fun of you making fun of him. You know what I mean? Like he's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the price of the tickets. He's like, but I think you can all agree with me that the kind of people that would enjoy cheap seats in Norfolk are not the kind of people you want sitting next to you. Like, just all kinds of shit,
Yeah, that's
dude.
pretty good.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, the last stand-up special I really, really liked was Ron White's on Netflix. You could just look up Ron White on Netflix. I think it's the only one.
I know who he is.
Yeah,
funny
he's
as
funny
shit.
as shit. Yeah.
I can't believe he's not dead, dude. He's more hammered every time I see him.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's that they call me tater salad or whatever. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking hilarious.
He caught the tater. Good stuff, man.
He only does like one stand-up special every like 10 fucking years, it seems like. But
Yeah,
they're
because
always amazing.
That's the only time he's ever sober. It's
Yeah.
like once every 10 years.
Well, he's not even sober then because he drinks on stage. That's part of his thing.
I guess.
Yeah, he's not even sober then.
If you were to come up with a thing, it shouldn't be getting fucking hammered. You know what I mean? Like that'd be like, oh, check out my comedy special where
his
I'm
thing.
like,
Or he just
I'm like
drinks
fucking
scotch.
shot up on heroin every night. Like that shouldn't be your thing. You know what I mean? Like you should have a different thing.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway.
You got another topic, or you want me to pull one out of the hat?
I don't know. You want to pull another one, or you want to be good? We can be either one.
What are we at? 2.5 hours? Let me look and see if there's anything major we missed that can't be recycled. You can talk about the game trailers thing. I don't know if that's.
Walking Dead comes back on tonight.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the minority. I think that show is probably the most overrated show ever on television.
I don't like zombie shit. The zombie shit is so overplayed. It's like it's gotten ridiculous. It's like zombie everything. Zombie TV shows, zombie video games, zombie this, zombie that. It's gotten there's so many of them. It's just I never liked it to begin with, and now I really don't like it.
Yeah. That show to me is like, oh, look at this paradise that will somehow not turn into a paradise, and we're going to have to flee and go to a new paradise. There's every season of The Walking Dead ever.
The only zombie thing I liked recently was The Last of Us. Did you ever play that game?
Yes. I didn't finish it. I have it on PS4, and I really want to finish it for the story. But, like, I don't really want to play it. I just want to, like, see someone else. Like, that's a game I could... If there was a video of someone playing it from start to the finish... You know what I mean?
I've got a series where I do that. Just saying.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then I'll watch it. But I thought that was really well done, actually.
How far are you into it?
Not very. I don't even, dude. It was a while ago when I stopped playing. I'm in like.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but are you at the part with the black kid and the two black guys, or no?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more then. But that game is very well done. But that game is not really a zombie game, really. Like, it's not... I mean, yes, it is about the zombies, but not really at the same time.
Right.
It's more about the people.
What do you think about the, like... So, you like hardcore games, right? Like, are you like a Dark Souls kind of fan? Like...
Not really, no. I mean, yes and no, I guess. Go on.
So, I find online there are two crowds of people. There are people that generally enjoy like hardcore games, like hard experiences that are like challenging, and they enjoy overcoming the challenge. And then there are people that just like to play games for like to relax in the story, and they don't really want to be challenged all that much as they do want to enjoy the experience. And then there's people in between. So like if you take Dark Souls on one end of the spectrum, right, on the hardcore side and the unforgiving side, I would say the other side of the spectrum are Telltale games. Are you a fan of like what Telltale does in like those kind of games, or no?
Yeah, I like it. It's just a story-driven game.
Would you even call it a game? Because like you push buttons every now.
I don't know. I guess I'd call it a game. It's an interactive story. That's what it is. Like I played a game called Asura's Wrath, which is essentially QuickTime events the game, where you play. The entire game really is a QuickTime event, and you play as this anime god character, and you are fighting with other gods, and it's just completely over the top, ridiculous. And the actual gameplay is really non-existent, and it's just a story that you go along for the ride on. And I love that game.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that shit.
Have you played 30 Seconds to FAP?
No. I
just
probably won't.
I just linked it. You should play it.
In this spacebar?
In this game, you sit on your bed and you spam spacebar until you.
It's not loading for me.
Oh, let me find another one.
It's like loading like 25% and then it just stops.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's try this one. Or this one.
All right. Let me see. Okay, this one looks like it's gonna work. Maybe. Fucking thing. What the fuck? What is wrong with this?
I don't know. Try the very last one. If it doesn't work, then you have to talk about it.
Come on. What's the fucking deal with this?
Anyway,
Oh, I'm missing
Yeah.
all this awesome gameplay. Whatever. I get the idea.
as you spam
Figure it
spacebar.
out.
Yeah, just play it later. But Telltale, no, I think those are good. Actually, if you ever do get a girlfriend, or a good thing to do on a date is just to load up a Telltale game, because my wife enjoys screaming out the letter of the button she wants me to push for the dialogue. So she
That
doesn't
sounds
like push.
infuriating.
She doesn't want to push the button. So like we'll be talking and then the game will be going and it'll come to like a dialogue moment and it'll be like, what do you want to say or whatever. And then she'll be like X, circle, square, you know what I mean? I'll have to hit the button. But sometimes she pisses me off because it takes a little minute to think about it and the little bar's counting down, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So she'll tell me like a button like 0.4 seconds before I have to hit the button and then I'll get angry. And
Dude,
that's what you look forward to when you're.
So what I do for like dates is I do the same shit. like if I know that like this girl that I'm gonna be dating doesn't know any of the other girls I've dated, like I'll do like the same fucking gambit I always do. Like I'll take her to the fucking mini golf course and just go ham, cause I've done the same fucking mini golf course like 100 times. So like I'm like Tiger fucking Woods on this thing, and I just impress the shit out of them because they're like, "Wow, you're really good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't know, it's just a good day." Meanwhile, I've played the shit like every time.
I got news for you. So my buddy, we roomed together. When I was in Norfolk, we were in the Navy, and we had this little shitty like sports bar right across our house called Pizza Chef, and it was called Pizza Chef, but it was a sports bar, and they served pizza. And I could always tell when my buddy had like an internet fucking like Plenty of Fish or Match.com date, because I would come home and there's fucking like Pizza Chef in the fucking fridge, because that was his thing. Like his thing was no effort at all. Like he would take her to like the closest place to his bedroom that he could humanly find, and it was this shitty sports bar across the way. And oh well, I'll tell the story later, but on the show because it's kind of
Well, come
about
on,
him.
what the fuck? You don't tease
Well,
that.
well, so like it was just funny because like he would always bring this. I would always like listen to him across the hallway, because like he would bring these dates home, and he was like a black dude in a white guy's body. Like apparently this dude, I guess he just like
Yes.
he used to smash like every chick that would come over, and it was funny just because I remember like one of his first ones, I could like hear her in the other room, and she would be like, I would call her like the don't stop chick. Because she would do this thing and it was really irritating. She would be like, "Oh, don't stop, stop, oh!" And she would like freak out when like he would stop and keep going and stuff. And it's just like, I had to listen to my roommate like smash like every other night some random internet chick from Pizza Chef, and
Yeah.
he made girls cry because he would like take out his camera and they'd be like, "I don't want you to take pictures." He would like take pictures. It was weird.
What of what? Like after he got done?
No, he just liked to he liked to fucking just like for his phone for later or whatever, just like I don't know, just take videos of himself banging or whatever. And chicks would be
that's
like,
understandable. I've never done that. I've never made like a home video or anything like that before.
"Really? Yeah, don't do it."
I get. See, I'm like so fucking like conservative with everything. I guess I'm just like super fucking boring. Like never done the pull out method. Never fucking made home videos.
The only thing with making videos is that
it just seems like a bad idea.
You'll leave them on your computer, and then your one day future wife that you're dating will find them of you like doing inappropriate things.
Does this happen to you?
Yeah, it probably did a lot. And then she'll be like,
Jesus.
"Fuck is this?" And I'll be like, "I don't know. That's my old computer. What do you want?"
Wait, time out. You're a gamer. What the fuck? What's the deal with your hardware? I know you make decent money. Why aren't you replacing your fucking hardware more often?
No. That was my old. I had an iMac that I used to record. I used to be my computer, and it was an old one that I just put in the corner, and I had my gaming thing rig, right? And so when I started dating her, she didn't really have she had a shitty laptop, so I let her use my computer, and I just gave her this old iMac to use.
Oh, so you sabotaged yourself.
Right, and a lot of it was
as
on
DJ Khaled would say, you played yourself.
And I forgot it was on there.
Dude, dank meme! Dank meme!
So, yeah, it was on there. That wasn't a good time. Yeah,
that's high quality memeage right there. I'm very proud of that.
It happens.
You played yourself.
I did. But I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just bored. I
don't do it a lot now. Like with the you know.
See, and what's fucked up is that like I see all this shitty porn online, and I'm like, with my mediocre knowledge of video production, I could make something so much better. Like, what is the fucking deal with porn and audio syncing? Why can't they get that right? Like,
I don't
drag
know,
the fucking audio track over. Like, surely you've encountered this. Like, or you watch porn and the audio is out of sync, and you're like, what is the fucking deal?
Well, a lot of it, like, have you watched the Kim Kardashian video?
No. Well, not really.
Well, I don't mean like
go on.
I don't mean like watching like a fucking like it's not like it's the goddamn Jungle Book. I mean watching it like you know you've seen it, some of it. So
I guess a little bit of it. Yeah, not that much of it though.
Enough to fap to it. All right, I got it. So
no.
Whatever. So that's actually like probably like 8 actual seconds of footage that they looped into like a 45-minute video.
That's depressing.
And I think a lot of times they do that where like they don't have the right audio, so it'll be like a chick moaning, but it's like not the chick's not even like doing that. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of times their give a fuck is at like 2, because you know what I mean.
So. I really think it's just piss poor production, like them like just fucking the audio sync up.
I guess, but so one of your commenters said he had $1 million idea. You know what a good $1 million idea is? Is the backroom casting couch guy. That guy is a fucking genius.
Yeah. I guess. Apparently porn, actual like production porn is not making very much money at all anymmer.
Yeah, I saw that.
All the chicks are doing like live video feed and fucking Twitch.
Twitch. Casey Tron.
Dude, yeah. That's crazy. Dude, that is the thing though. A lot of these porn stars are going over to Twitch because they're making more money than on these campsites.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine. I mean, why would
I think a lot of these campsites take a percentage.
You know what's funny is like, I guess what they did for a while, like I guess reality porn is like the new thing. Like people don't want to watch porn stars banging anymore. They want to watch like amateurs. So like a very popular video series was called like Fuck a Fan, and they're like I guess what they did was took like real porn stars like and they had like guys just like write in and be like I want to be on the video or whatever. So like these porn stars would actually bang like average Joes. Jesus. And apparently like they didn't edit it, so like some dudes wouldn't even nut, some dudes couldn't get it up, some dudes or whatever. Apparently that was
that
like
sounds entertaining.
One of them, yeah. Apparently, it was like one of the most popular porn runs of.
I
like,
bet that's
all time.
illegal. That's got to be illegal, which is why they shut it down. I would assume, right?
I don't know, but they shut down. You know what's funny? Talking about illegal is you torrent things, right? Like movies and music.
I legally purchase everything, including Sony Vegas Pro 12.
Right,
Doesn't
exactly.
everyone?
Or 7 as what I use. Do you have Pro 12? I need Pro 12.
Let me see what I have.
Anyway, I have 7 because that's what I found.
I have 13 actually.
God damn, I need that. So of all the things I've ever torrented in my entire life, do you know the only one Comcast has ever sent me a message about?
What?
Was fucking Girls Gone Wild on Campus. Apparently,
I have never seen one of those.
Apparently, of all the Universal, Sony, Fox fucking productions that I've downloaded, Girls Gone Wild on
Did
campus.
they send you like something in the mail? How does that work?
No, they sent me an email and they were like, "Hey, we noticed you stole this movie from the internet. Don't do that anymore, or we're gonna cancel your internet." Basically.
I've never gotten one of those.
Really? They're not
No.
common. Again, I've torrented thousands and thousands of gigs of things, and the only one I've ever gotten an email about was Girl Gone Wild on Campus.
You know what I don't understand? Have you ever torrented something and it wasn't the thing that you torrented? So this is back in the LimeWire days. For me, I torrented a paintball tournament because I was really into paintball as a kid. Like it was like some paintball tournament they played down in California or something, and I torrented it. And when the file I fucking downloaded was like lesbian porn, but it had the title of like MPPL 2007 Championship or whatever. I'm like, why even do that?
Oh, you know what's funny? Is I don't know. I don't know why you would do that.
Why would someone do that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. But I want
Like, I got you. Like, there's no feedback or anything. It's just like, that guy's just being a dick. Just make me download the wrong shit.
I want you to know that I just checked my Comcast email that I never check ever. I actually have 3 notices in it.
What are they for?
It says, "Notice of action under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Dear Comcast Internet subscriber. Abuse incident number," and then there's a number. And it says, "Comcast has received a notification by a copyright owner reporting an alleged infringement of one or more copyrighted works made on or over Comcast's internet. The owner has identified the IP associated with your service account at the time as the source of the infringing works. The works identified by the Comcast owner, blah, blah, blah. Comcast reminds you that your service that constitutes infringement."
It didn't say what it was?
No, this one doesn't.
Does the other one say what it is?
No, I know it does. Well, it did. This one doesn't. I wonder what it is.
Dude, I bet that's one of those things where they just have to legally send that out, but they don't.
Yeah, I mean, you know how much I fucking pay for Comcast? There's no way they're gonna fucking cancel my shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those.
This one does say what it is. It says infringing work.
Oh, jeez.
House sitting whore number 4.
See, you're in that rare category of people that downloads porn. Like, what?
You know why I did this was because I download things of like of actual like people that I like. Like I can just go to like ujiz.com or RedTube. You know what's funny? A side note. You know YouTube Red service, like it's called like
Yeah.
Why would they call it that?
I know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's so
Seems
dumb.
like a horrible fucking idea. Why didn't they just call it like YouTube Premium or YouTube like
or
Plus?
maybe it's a genius idea to try to steal all the porn customers.
Yeah, really. They did it for the search results.
Anyway, so like I download movies of like chicks that I want to make like a collection of or whatever, and I guess this is one of them. It's house sitting whore number 4. It's like infringement date. I think it's like Thanksgiving.
Dude, again, I'm like Mr. fucking conservative, dude. I have a fucking like I live by myself and I still watch porn in incognito mode.
Wow. What do you mean?
I just do. I just don't want that shit on my search history for whatever reason. I don't know.
In case you die, like the police are like, let's talk about the life and times of fucking Zybak, and you don't want them going through your shit.
Well, what's funny is that a chick thought she was being funny going through my search history one time. She's like, "Oh, let's see what you have on your search history." Expecting me to freak out, and I was like, "Go for it." She's like, "Oh my god, there's that in here." It's like, "Bitch, it's because I use incognito mode."
That's right.
You played yourself.
You know what's funny is like, so Chrome tries to be helpful and save all your shit for like all your devices or whatever. Like you're not being fucking helpful, Chrome, when I log on to Chrome at work and like I go to type something in.
That's why you gotta Control-Shift-N, dude.
Well, I changed it, but yeah, I would definitely say that there were some sketchy autofill words that populated my work computer at one time that I didn't want.
Yep. Thank God for incognito mode, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, man. Well, it's been almost 3 hours, and it's getting a little late for me. I have to be up. I have to get up early, and I think we've Really, I think this is a good. This is probably our best podcast. I think this is probably one of the best ones we've done. Like, or the best one I've done.
And it has to be one of the best ones we've done.
At least in the top 2.
It's top 50%.
All right, so you got anything you wanna? I guess you're not a YouTuber, but follow this guy on Twitter so he doesn't have to like feel bad about getting like 4 bot followers.
Yeah. So my Twitter is Dopameaner, but I just want to be clear that that's not at my thing is Dopamine. Because Dopameaner, the only reason it's Dopameaner is because there's some sketch rapper from like I don't know, forever ago that took Dopamine. So like my origin names and Steam names are like Dopamini and Dopameaner and Dopa whatever the fuck. But yeah, it's just Dopamine.
All right,
and
well,
I'm black. I want everybody to know.
Yeah, he's black. A lot of people were really shocked that you're actually black.
I know. Hey man, affirmative action, dude. You had to bring on some diversity to the Hive.
Especially since it's February. It's Black Awareness Month, so,
right.
At least for the rest of the month.
Right.
It's affirmative action.
Correct.
Anyway, so go check us out on SoundCloud. I just closed out of my notes. So we're on follow the SoundCloud, iTunes. Leave us a review on iTunes. I'll read it out if it's funny. Stitcher, YouTube. Check those out if you wanted to listen to the podcast there. I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed Hive Mind number 13, and we'll see you again next week.